Hello, you beautiful bastards, and welcome to my so-called show. Tonight on Bastard's Breakdowns, we discuss Get Shorty. I am here with Inside Man
Good evening.
and Fandad Menace
How are the lads?
and Critic Al.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Yep,
Good
and
evening.
I'm glad to have you here. This should be a very fun stream, and anyone in the comics, well, Nix, I should say, just Nix for now. Hello, Toxic. Thank you for joining me. I'm really sad that you're not guesting because your computer was fucked, which was the reason why we're 10 minutes late. And yeah, I'm hoping if you do manage to fucking lend a friend's computer and get some stuff back on track to come on, I've got the link. It's there. You're welcome to come on later if you can. I'm doubtful it's going to happen, but I'm hoping I'm wrong. But still, the show must go on because right now we're discussing pretty much a fucking really underrated film that doesn't seem to be getting much attention anymore like it used to. And I'd like to know your thoughts on like how did you first come about this movie? Starting with Inside Man.
Well, it was kind of shortly after Jackie Brown. I started reading a little bit of Elmore Leonard, and I got round to reading Get Shorty, and then I thought, oh, there's a movie coming out called Get Shorty, so give that a go. So I went to the cinema, I watched it, loved it. I thought it was different to the book, not majorly different to the book. You got the essence of the story is there, but I thought it was a really good adaptation, and and it was kind of hot on the heels of Tarantino, really, wasn't it? Tarantino's.
Oh yeah, because Tarantino is like a big Elmore Leonard fan. That's why he writes dialogue the way he does. That's where he gets it from.
Yeah.
And
People
what
like
about you,
James Delroy, Elmore Leonard.
Yeah, I've read a lot of Elmore Leonard's books because of like Tarantino's endorsement of him. I'm like, Jesus Christ, half these fucking books are not made into movies, and they should be. I'd love to see these adaptations, but I doubt a lot of them are going to happen. But this is your first time.
Quite a few that have. There's quite a few that have. I think there's been about
there's been loads of Hombre and that as well back in the 60s. There was
yeah.
Mr. Majestic and but there's other books as well. Like I think Bandits and the Switch as well, which was like a prequel to Jackie Brown Rum Punch.
Yeah,
I know. But, yeah. And moving on to Fandad Menace, this is the first time you've watched this film, isn't it?
Yeah, good movie, and I'm really looking forward to. Yeah, really looking forward to. Yeah, looking forward to getting to grips with this one.
Yeah, because you've been in the movie industry as well, and that's another reason why I had you as a guest, because it just makes sense to have someone who is behind the scenes a lot as well, and has a fondness for this movie too.
Yeah, but thank you for having me on. I really appreciate you having me on. I genuinely do.
No, you're always welcome. And Fandad Menace, like I said before, this was like
Hello.
This was like the first time you were watching this movie, wasn't it?
It is. It's the first and second time I watched it this week. And I didn't realize it at the time, but we did when I did a film and television production degree about 20 years ago. And we actually did a little, what's the word? We did apart from Get Shorty, the bit where Harry Zim, it's when Chili Palmer breaks into his house.
Yeah.
And he says, have you ever stopped to consider what would happen if I had a heart attack? I hope you know what to do if I had a heart attack. We sort of redid that scene as part of as a part of the course, but I never thought to actually watch the movie. Never really knew what the movie was about until you suggested we do it tonight. So watched it, and I just thought, man, what have I been missing since 1995? It's proper 90s movie. It's got that 90s look, like the cinematography. It looks like you sort of what you would get with like the likes of Kindergarten Cop and all the sort of comedies of that era. But it also has that kind of film noir sort of feel to it in a comedic way.
Yeah, and it's very laid back as well. It's a very
Yeah.
laid back movie. You just can't help but relax to it when even when some bad shit's going down.
Yeah, it's and like the character development in this movie is just off the charts. I thought Dennis Farina's character was fucking astonishing. We'll get into that at some point, I'm sure. But
Yeah,
some
well,
of the things they came out with, like another kind of blink and you'll miss it sort of thing. But some of the things he says, just tell me you're an idiot without telling me you're an idiot.
Yeah, there's Farina's always fucking good for value, and he can be a really good intimidating villain. But this is the one where he gets to show that he can be really funny as well.
I literally spat my tea out about 5 times. I'm not kidding. Some of the stuff he was coming out with was just
like the bit in the cab, isn't it, on the way from the airport where he says, they tell me the reason this fucking sunsets in fucking LA are so fucking good is because of the fucking smog.
Yeah.
Yeah. And critical. When did you first come about this movie? Is this the first time you were watching it, or have you watched it before a while ago?
Sorry, I was just pouring myself a drink. I've seen it once. It was a long time ago. I can't remember exactly when. I mean, the film's 30 years old now, but yeah, probably at some point in the first 10 years after it had been released. And I watched it, but I don't think I really appreciated it all that much, or certainly I wasn't mature enough to appreciate it, because I watched it again today because I've just got back from being out of town, and it finished 10 minutes before I started streaming. And I was actually blown away. I definitely hadn't absorbed and appreciated as much of the film as I should. It's effortlessly cool. I actually thought Tarantino might have been involved with the production because of the dialogue. Is very Tarantino-esque, but as you said, and more that sort of that explains that. It's almost like if Guy Ritchie did one of his Cockney comedies but made it American. You know?
Yeah, and because when you mentioned Tarantino, he was the reason John Travolta decided to take on the part. He wasn't so sure about it, but Tarantino said, "No, this is a part you do not say no to. This is a very good adaptation." And
and he's really good at it. He's, as I said, he's effortlessly cool. He's 2 moves ahead of everybody at all times. And I presume he did this straight after Pulp Fiction, because Pulp Fiction was what, 94?
Yeah, I mean, I saw a documentary on, and apparently they almost did want to have Danny DeVito in the role as Chili Palmer, but he couldn't make that commitment because he was still directing Matilda at the time. So
okay,
yeah, and because the character's so confident, you know, he's so confident and comfortable in his skin. Danny DeVito was apparently like that in real life, and that's why they wanted him. But in the end, they went with John Travolta, who just fucking, like he said, he kills the part.
He won a Golden Globe for it, didn't he?
Oh, did he really? That's deserved. Yeah, that's deserved.
I think it's one of his most underrated roles, up there with Blowback, which is another underrated John Travolta movie, in my opinion.
He is solidly.
All the actors do a good job. It's got such a good cast. Such a good cast.
Everyone is good. I mean, a lot of them play against type as well. You see Dennis Farina being a bit more goofier. You see Gene Hackman being this pathetic loser who was this total fuck up as well. He's always doing stupid shit, even though he can't help him.
Yeah, it's kind of the guy that thinks that he knows better every time. You know, he's being advised and being told, you know, exactly how he's got to handle the situation, but he genuinely thinks that he knows better. And you know what's coming as soon as you see, you know, when he starts to stray a little bit, you know exactly what he's in store for.
I know, and he's also very desperate as well. He's been making all these shitty B movies as well, and he's never made it big in Hollywood. And he's got the script now, but somehow he's got the idea like he needs fucking millions more than he does to make this movie, and now he's gotten himself involved with these fucking limo guys, the fucking casinos. Even he also owes money to he has to make this movie now so he can pay the fucking money to his writer's wife, who's now a widow because of his death. And Yeah, and now he's relying on Chili Palmer to get him out of this fucking mess, and he's just making it fucking worse. It's
There's so many moving parts in this film.
there's so much
Moving
going
parts.
on.
It all starts with a borrowed jacket.
Yeah, it's one of those films where there's loads of storylines coming all together, yet it never feels convoluted. It feels it feels like it's all leading up to one part, and I love that.
Yeah.
Hour and 45 minutes, and it never feels bloated or superfluous at any given moment.
No.
It's paced perfectly. It really is.
I know, it almost feels like it could have been directed by Steven Soderbergh a little bit as well, because it has that sort of slick sort of style to it, the way it's shot, the way.
Yeah. I kind of thought the thing that the one that I thought of immediately was the player. You know, 'cause it's got that level of darkness in the player as well. You know, but obviously the player is a lot darker than this, but it just kind of reminded me a little bit of the player, you know, because it's a movie within the movie business.
I know, and it's very sharp as well. It's sort of like there are a few little changes in the books, but the additions that the film makes does almost improve on it a little bit, and it's one of the few films that Elmore Leonard really fucking loved at the time, because he seemed a bit bitter at the way Hollywood has adapted his movies before this. And I don't know, Have I seen Mr. Majestic? No, I can't remember now. I've read the book, though, Mr. Majestic. It's a pretty fucking good book. But Elmore Leonard is definitely a guy who never fucks about. He's always straight to the point in his books. And just like this film, he puts a lot in, and it never feels boring. It never feels like it's slowing down or dragging.
Every little bit of dialogue that's put into it adds to one of the characters.
Does.
That's one of the great things.
Right from here, right from the outset, was straight into character development. We know what Chili Palmer is straight away. He's staring out the window. He's saying they're shutting down the El Grande or whatever it's called.
Yeah, and his friend's just like, listen, don't bother with that. We're not going to make any fucking money off it. And he doesn't care about the money. He just wants to keep it open so he can go see these old movies as well.
Because he loves cinema. It's not that he loves, not that he likes movies or going to watch movies. He loves cinema. So like from way back in the day, because he
wants to keep him alive, doesn't he? And
he's watching things as like Rio Bravo and Touch of Evil and stuff like that. He just
it's because he has to put up this image a lot, and it's one of the few scenes where you really start to see him wear his emotions on his sleeve a little bit, and it's very charming. And it's not in the book whatsoever. It is not in the book. It's added from the movie, and it's a great addition. It's a great addition for his character.
I personally think. Sorry, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I personally think that was included as more of a tribute to Elmore Leonard, because that's what he's like. That's what he was like. You know, he was very much a cinephile. He really loved his movies. He really loved cinema. You know, having written numerous screenplays and what have you anyway, but he loved cinema, and that I think is also why his books come across as quite cinematic. You know, you read an Elmore Leonard book and you don't need to have an adaptation of it. You've got that cinematic version of Elmore Leonard in your head, you know, whenever you read an Elmore Leonard book. You know, they are very cinematic books, I think.
Yeah, 'cause he breaks a lot of rules that most writers do as well. I mean, he has these like 10 rules, like never start off your book describing the weather, you know, and like never go full descriptions of like interiors and that. And I like that as well. He just sort of like does brief mention of the interiors, and you know, like if the living room has a painting of a palm tree or some shit like that, and he just moves on with the story, because that's why I love his books. That's why they're such easy reads.
Yeah,
you can pick them up and bring them back. And we got Martin Ferrero here from Miami Vice, and he's always kind of made these like little appearances in movies. He's a small actor you'll see pop up in a lot, but you'll be like, oh yeah, he's that actor in that thing, isn't he?
He was lawyer in Jurassic Park, wasn't he? Do you know?
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
He was. Yeah.
But I've been watching a lot of Miami Vice as well, so I'm seeing him a lot. And obviously, both him and Dennis Farina were in Miami Vice, and and you recently get to know what kind of a guy Ray Bones is as well. He's really fucking full of himself.
He's a bonehead.
He is. And he's obviously doing better in his job more than on his side of the because they're on different gangsters, aren't they? And there seems to be a little competition with these two, but they're still sort of connected and trying not to cause any bad blood between themselves.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Baroni can't touch Chill
Yeah.
Palmer because he's
Works for
working for
Momo.
Momo, is it?
Momo.
Yeah, Momo. Yeah.
Momo,
Yeah.
But obviously that's going to change very, very soon.
Yeah.
Quite
but-
hilarious. Quite hilarious.
that
And
was
he's kind of
cool.
using that to his advantage as well, because he's like taking the piss out of saying, "Hey, it's chilly out there. It's chilly in here. It's a regular fucking chilly fest." And obviously he wants to punch this guy. Look at him. Look at that face. He's really trying to keep it fucking calm. And I think this guy on the right here was the real Chili Palmer who Elmore Leonard got advice from when he was writing the books, because he was
Right.
basically the guy.
Oh wow!
Ah.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can tell Chili Palmer, he's not very. He's kind of bored with his fucking job now. He's like, you can sort of see him staring across the street. He's in a haze. He's miles away. He's not very focused on his job. He's not very enthusiastic about it anymore.
And it kind of foreshadows what happens towards the
Yeah.
end, and actually gets into movies in a bigger way, in a more productive way.
And this comes the scene with the coat as well, and he finds out like Ray Bones is fucking taking it.
Where's me coat? Where's me coat?
Yeah.
Al Pacino wore in Serpico.
I know. Yeah, once again, adding a little layer to his fucking movie, his movie enthusiasm, and the guy's really trying to fucking make excuses for Ray Bones. He's like, he didn't take it, he borrowed it, he couldn't find his coat, so he decided to take yours. It's like, that doesn't make it fucking better, mate. That doesn't.
It's got me car keys in the pocket.
He probably pays him protection money or something. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Dennis Farina. Yeah. Apparently, he died a month
What?
within a month of Elmore Leonard, or is it the other way around? I can't remember now, but yeah, fucking hell, both died such a short while after each other. It's very tragic as well.
And
Still
rest in
very
peace,
talented.
Donald Sutherland, who went yesterday.
But sorry?
Donald
Donald
Sutherland.
Sutherland.
Yeah, he did.
No!
Yes.
Fuck no!
Yesterday, 88.
Oh,
Yeah, Lance
man,
was,
no, I didn't know
Lance
that.
did a stream on it, didn't he? I've not watched it yet, but I will later.
Ah,
Because,
he did.
yeah, Dirty Dozen and that. Fucking hell, don't look now. Good
Kelly-
fucking movies.
Kelly's Heroes and Body Snatchers was one of my
Yep.
favourite horrors when I was a kid.
Yeah, I need to watch that. Yeah, it's a really good, like one of the few great remakes out there as well. Up there with The Thing and The Fly and
It was
True
really
Grit.
good. Scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, that was
Was that final
bit
scene?
at the end is
wasn't it?
iconic, isn't
Oh,
it?
my
Just
God,
points
yeah.
to starts screaming.
Yeah,
I had no idea Dennis Farina had passed away.
I think he died 10 years ago. I think it was
Shit and hell.
over 10 years ago. He was getting on a bit though, and
Yeah, to be
he
fair,
was a real fucking cop as well in real life.
Blimey.
Before he did acting, I had some stories about him. Like he had a nickname as well because he was a very bad shot in real life as a cop, and I can't remember what it was though. But either way, rest in peace, man. Great fucking. He turned out to be a really good actor as well.
Wasn't Cockeye Doyle, was it?
Yeah, and the thing is, this coat as well that he's stolen was his ex-wife's coat. Like, he got as a present, and yeah, of course he's not going to let that fly, even though his friend is telling him, "Listen, you don't need a coat. Just start causing your bad blood, all right? It's just going to cause more trouble to our family. It'll take up a lot of fucking time, and we don't need it." He's like, "Don't worry, I'm going to be in there and out, no problem."
Says, I won't say any more than I have to. He doesn't
Yeah,
say
what's him up? So he just throws in a fucking wax.
This is fucking. This made me spit my tea out. In fact, I went and made a cup of tea just so I could spit it out. He punches him in the face, takes the coat. Dennis Farina has the biggest fucking tantrum you've ever seen.
Yeah, like, my nose, my nose.
He's like a fucking 5-year-old, and he just shuts the door on him.
It just shows that Chili Palmer's not one to let things go.
No.
I know, and he's not
mad.
one to just fly off the handle and lose his temper as well. He gets straight to the point, and then
Gets the job
that's
done.
it. I don't need to go on anymore. That's it.
Oh man.
But this part is in the book, but it's changed. But it was different as well. Like the old coat stealing thing was in a flashback back in the 60s, where Chili Palmer was younger, and apparently he was very bad tempered in his younger days, and that's where he got the name Chili. But as the years went on, he started to mellow out a bit, and now they called him Chili because he was always chill.
Yeah.
But to make this more like into the present is once again a nice little change. It doesn't piss all over the original novel. It's a nice change that works better for the movie because it moves on with the plot instead of just going all the way back to a flashback for no reason.
Yeah.
It's Fred the barber and Ed the barber.
Yeah.
Apparently. This is a beaut as well.
Yeah, they're just sat there as well. I mean, they probably don't cut out that much either because it's mostly a money laundering thing that Chili has to look after for a bit for his bosses. But obviously, Ray Bones wants revenge now. He's got that fucking bandage on his nose. But I can't remember if they fucking signalled him here. But he knows he's coming.
You could hear them coughing in the background.
Yeah, they were coughing. Yeah,
and that's it. He goes and grabs his gun, and this is man.
Yeah, and he's obviously not out to kill him. He just fucking grazes the top of his fucking head.
Yeah. Shoots him straight. Did you hear what he was shouting as he left the shop? Because
he's just screaming, saying, "Get an ambulance! Get an ambulance!"
This is what he screamed. He screamed, "Somebody call 91111 9111 instead of 911."
Yeah, it sets the tone as well, doesn't it? He knows that this is going to be a fun movie as well. It's going to be a very fun movie, a very stylish movie.
Somebody call 9111.
Yeah, that's going to be fun to watch. And here is Alex Rocco from The Godfather, who played. Yeah, he played More Green, didn't he?
Alex Rocco, Jimmy Cap. He was in all sorts. He did hundreds of TV shows, didn't he?
Yeah, he's in. He plays the son of the Itchy and Scratchy creator in The Simpsons as well. He's yeah.
Jesus.
And obviously, this is mirroring The Godfather a little bit as well. He's having a massage, and he's got the glasses in his hand as well. So yeah, you have expecting him to put those glasses on and get shot in the fucking eye, but
yeah.
But he does turn out to be a very more reasonable than Ray Bones, and thank God this guy is in charge. Because he's telling, no, Ray Bones, you were being a fucking arsehole. You deserve that fucking punch. I'm not going to go starting some shit with Chili over what you did. That's your problem.
Chili belongs to Momo.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as he's around, you don't touch Chili.
Exactly, and But unfortunately, this shit happens. Momo probably thinks he's going for another meeting with some rival gang, but turns out to be a fucking... And he doesn't want any surprises. Then this shit happens. Happy birthday. Fucking keels over. Yeah, Chili's fucked now. Momo's gone. That means Ray Bones can move in and actually start asserting a bit more dominance over him.
You know, when I was on about little details before...
Yeah.
Go back to when he stood in the doorway. All the confetti cannons go off in the room, and he stood in the doorway. And as he falls forward, just as he comes out of frame, it's not on there, but as he comes out of frame, there's a little puff of confetti comes up at the camera just to give a little extra comedic effect. I thought it was the film's littered with stuff like that. I'll shut up now. I'll go back to it.
No, it's all right. It's good to add these little bits as well, because even I missed these things. And once again, the film starts. We've got the credits with this real cool sort of slick, jazzy music, and now we're in the scene where, and this feels very Elmore Leonard as well. It's just Martin Ferrero's just saying something very, very mundane that has no relevance to the plot, but it makes him sound. It makes him come across more like a fully fleshed character, because that's how people talk. We say mundane things, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, like he says, he's never going to bed. He's not going to sleep in the bed anymore because too many people fucking die in bed, and
so I'll sleep on the couch.
Yeah, or sleep in the coffee house. Just tip my hat down and just sleep. And that's loitering, mate. That's loitering. But it's still very funny.
But this shows like the lack of respect that Ray Bones got for everybody around him. Like he comes in and just starts on these two guys. No reason to. He's just trying to assert his dominance in a very
petty-minded way.
Yeah, petty-minded.
Oh yeah. He wants everyone to.
I don't think anybody respects him. Even his own bouncer doesn't respect him when Chili talks to him.
Yeah, you could do better than that. It's like, not these days. not when you speak Spanish.
Not
And
unless
it's a nice little character moment as well, because it kind of comes back to that later when we meet when he actually confronts the bear over the switch at the airport later on, because he's obviously because he sees. Yeah, I've been there. I've had to be this fucking muscle for these fucking assholes I don't like. I've had to sort of laugh at their shitty jokes, everything like that before I got to where I was. And yeah, so it makes him more human as well compared to Ray Bones, who thinks intimidation and being a total fucking prick will get you further.
Yeah. And Chili's love of movies stands him in good stead throughout this film with developing relationships with important people.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen you in this, and they're like, oh, I like this guy. He's seen me in this. Do you know what I mean? And that happens 2 or 3 times at least.
I know. Plus, if he's watching movies, then he's probably looked up to a lot of these great characters, and he probably is trying to sort of apply that to his work, even though he's working with all these criminals. And I think that is another reason why he wants to leave that business as well, because I think he does want to be more of an honest guy.
Yeah, it's very much a kind of a guy that really wants to. You could see that he once had this aspiration, this dream to maybe do this kind of thing, to get into the film business. With the love of cinema that he has, and he kind of accidentally, if you like, gets this opportunity to kind of slot himself right in, and of course you can tell with his, as you said, with his recognition of all these different people and the different work that they involved with, that he he has that level of respect for them, that their work is far more important and far more impressive than the work that he is doing.
Yeah, no, and obviously it's took a while for the actual plot to kick in the book, but here it sort of just gets there straight away. We're introduced to what kind of guy Ray Bones is, what Chili is, the life he's leading, and what his struggle is at the moment, his confliction. And this is where we get to the part where Ray Bones mentions about a guy who owes him money, and he's going to throw it onto fucking Chili Palmer now because Chili Palmer works for him. And I do like that line where he goes, oh yeah, he's dead. He's like, oh yeah, did he tell you he was dead? Yeah, he definitely told me he was dead.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's stuck with the job. He doesn't fucking like it. And Matt Ferrero's character is obviously just trying to sort of like keep his head down a little bit though. And Chili's like, no, this guy's a fucking asshole. I'm going to call him out on it.
That whole conversation about the use of EG versus IE was an absolute
that was
EG-IE, fuck you.
Because Ray Bones has pretty much risen up the ranks, but he's obviously not. He's obviously fucking ignorant as well. While Chili Palmer is just very smart. He's actually very composed. He's very disciplined, and it's why you like him a bit more as well. He never has to. He never feels he has to raise his voice to get someone to take notice of him. He never calls to attention all the time. He just kind of like he calls to attention when he needs to, not when he wants to.
Yeah.
And now this is where we meet the wife as well of Leo, and she's actually really cool with him as well. She's like, all right, she knows what kind of guy he is, but because he's kind of this very charming, affable sort of person who never feels he has to resort to anything unnecessary, she sort of like likes him as well.
Yeah.
And he's disarming, isn't he? He goes in there and he's just, as you say, people know what he's there for. He doesn't feel the need to, pull his dick out or anything like that. He's just
he's not intimidating her or anything. He's not trying to fucking proposition her, and which comes into nice contrast when Ray Bones comes to visit her later, and it's a lot more and it's probably one of the more darker moments.
Yeah, that was brutal, man.
That was brutal. Jesus.
But we'll get to that soon. But it's a lot of preview audiences did not like that scene, and right in
the kisser.
No. I know. I remember watching that, thinking, "Fuck me!" That was of all the fucking scenes I've been watching. That was brutal as hell.
Yeah. You did that. That's not the kind of thing that really gets seen on screen like that, and it just makes you think even less of Ray. You know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
no need for him to do that. Absolutely no need. There's no need for him to turn in, walk into the barbers and have a go at those two old blokes.
I know,
He's
and
just
that's
waving his dick
yeah.
about.
Because I like the flip
The
side of
problem is
like
his dick's not that big because nobody actually respects him or likes him. They
Did
might
you hear
feed
what he
him,
said to the?
they might work for
sorry.
him, but he's a dog.
Did you hear what he said to the barbers when he came through the door?
Yeah, he said, "Do you
Yeah,
cut
yeah,
straight
I
hair or
know.
just bags?"
Yeah, he's a bully. He's a bully, isn't he?
He's a bully. Yeah,
He's a loony.
he's a dog, and Chili Palmer's a fox, or he's cunning. He knows. There's more to him. Everything for Ray Bones is surface level. There's nothing. There's no depth to him.
Yeah, because Ray Bones underestimates Chili as well a lot. He really does. He has no idea.
Nearly everybody does.
Yeah, and
He's
that does
two
end up
moves ahead of everybody all the way through the film.
Oh yeah, and underestimating Chili is what leads to his downfall later at the end.
I kind of get the impression that there's an element of jealousy there as well. Because he's smoother, he's cooler, he's got more of his head on his shoulders.
Ray knows that he's inept and he feels inept around Chili because Chili can just bounce off him so quickly.
Yeah, because even though he's
suave and
because even though he's doing better than Chili, probably financially anyway, he'll never be as fucking charming or likable or cool as Chili ever will be. But I like the fact that she's obviously been wronged by her husband Leo now, and that's when she comes clean that he is still alive, and the whole fucking insurance has been one big scam. So now it leads to Chili to go all the way down to Las Vegas to talk with this casino manager to find out if you can get any leads on Leo DeVoe. Turns out he's in LA now, and he's like, yeah, well, I got this other guy who owes me money as well. So if you're going down there, please talk to him. Fucking movie producer called Harry Zim, right idiot. And obviously Chili's a little bit curious as well because he's watched his films. He loves his fucking films, even the shittiest fucking C movie he's ever made. And of course, he's going to take that job as well.
Slime Creatures too.
Yeah. I hope that as well. The scene where he talks to Karen Flores about that scene she did and how fucking good she was. And she's like, you watched that fucking movie? You liked it?
When you turned to that alien and said,
yeah,
you don't belong on Earth. It's just that was better than Joan Crawford.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Like that. Kind of do sort of like see where it's coming from because we've seen these like sort of movies that should be daft, but the actor always puts 100% into it. And it's almost better than an actor phoning it in a Oscar-winning movie. And I kind of get his point there. So now we're in LA, and he's lumbered with the only car available, and it's a fucking minivan. He's like this cool guy, and he has to drive around in this fucking minivan.
But even that, he works to his advantage.
He does, yeah. Because by the end, it sort of becomes a fucking cool thing. He makes it a cool thing. I like that.
By the end of it, Martin Wiz bought himself one.
Yeah. And yeah, sorry for being a little late, but hail chat, yeah. Fucking hell, Ray Terry, Nick's Toxic. Thanks for joining us. Anyone else I may have missed? Thanks for joining me for Get Shorty because it's a pleasure always to have people listening to me talk bollocks with these fine gentlemen.
And if you haven't watch it after this stream, it's such a good movie.
I know, yeah, it really is. It needs more fucking attention again. It's like been nearly 30 years since this came out, and this is where we meet Harry Zim and Karen Flores, and I like how this scene comes by later with Chili and how differently he acts to this situation. So Karen Flores has been woke up. She knows someone's in, and Harry Zim's just using every excuse not to fucking do any confrontation or anything. He's obviously not a fucking confrontational guy. He's not very tough.
Also, Rene Russo in this film.
Yeah, Rene Russo, man. Fucking hell.
Man.
Dear Lord.
Oh, man. I think she still looks good now. I mean, she
looked right enough when she was in the 4 films for Marvel. She looks right. She aged very well. But in this, when she's wearing that purple T-shirt, it's like, yeah, very nice.
41 years old in this, and she looked like...
She really? Wow.
She looked like a
40-year-old.
41.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
I like how this comes back as well.
It does come back. Yeah, I just noticed that.
Yeah. And
Gene Hackman's great in this because he's playing against types so much.
Yeah.
I know, because he's usually good at playing these hard bastards, but he's not an hard bastard in this. He's a fucking
Just a loser.
He's kind of a coward. He's
a Charlton.
Yeah, he's the foil, isn't he? He's the foil in the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because I think Gene Hackman based this character on back when he was starting Hollywood. He based him on this agent who was like the funniest person you could ever meet. He was delightful. He was funny, but he couldn't say hello to you without or good morning without fucking lying. And yeah, it's definitely the character of Harry Zim is, and I love Harry Zim. He's a fucking likable loser. He is.
He's very car salesman, isn't he?
Yeah,
he
he's very easily, you know, he's very easily swayed, isn't he? Kind of, you know, what you've got to do is, just compliment him a few times, and that's it. You know, you've got his undying friendship.
I know, and I just love how I love how Chili has to be a little bit theatrical as well, like just sitting there in the chair in the dark and taking him by surprise. And obviously, he's obviously a little bit starstruck as well because he does kind of admire these dumb movies that Harry's made, and Harry fucking trying to look a little tough while he's standing there in his fucking boxes. He's very funny. It's and it never feels too comical as well. It feels like our actual loser would try and act tough in that situation.
Yeah, despite being comedy, or comical, the film never quite devolves into farce.
No, it never does. It never does. It feels,
it reminds me of something a bit like the Big Lebowski, to be honest.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Go a bit further, but that's the kind of film it reminds me of.
Yeah, I'd go along with that.
Yeah, it's kind of like dry humor. Like it's funny, but it's funny because the characters don't realize that they're the joke. They're never in on the joke, and that's because they play it dead straight, and that's how you should always do it in comedies. Just play it dead straight, like you're in the most serious thing ever, and the laughs will come.
Yeah, I think that's where you get the most laughs, unless you're Ray Bones.
In response to what Nix says in that message, 15 minutes in, by today's standards and whatnot, is it a film that stands the test of time? Did something cause you to keep going? Have you even noticed the time flying by? I did not notice the time flying by later in the movie, but at this early stage in the movie, you are intrigued. You already like the Chili Palmer character, and you're intrigued to see what's happening, because what's happening with the narrative like this at the moment, rather than modern writing where they just bolt bits on and it's very artificial the way it's created, the narrative in this film is basically working organically. It's growing.
Yeah, I know, because it kind of goes back to Matt Stone and Trey Parker when they were teaching writing to students. Apparently, this happens, therefore this happens, and because of that, this happens, therefore that happens. It's
instead of and this happens, and
this happened, and that happened, and that happened. Yeah,
so often in modern movies, things are happening only because something else needs to happen.
Yeah.
Where in this, things are happening because of something that has already happened, if that makes sense.
Yeah, cause and effect and consequence, and it's a series of hooks. They've kind of laid down a series of hooks there that have literally just dragged everybody in. You know, so you've now got these different threads that are attached to these series of hooks, and you know, you're right. There's so much intrigue there. You know there's going to be a little bit of a web, woven web there. So, we're really drawn in. So that's it. 15 minutes in, we don't get that now. And you're absolutely right.
No, we don't.
With today's film making, with today's writing, it's a series of events that are placed, end to end, tenuously linked by a very thin thread of non-plot, non-story.
I know, fucking God, I miss fucking good writing. I really do. I've been seeing a couple of good films that seem to have been holding a good high standing of writing, but it's very rare these days. And even some of the bad films that I'm seeing in the past, of like, oh yeah, I can sort of like see a little bit of credibility there compared to. what we're
Little
getting.
nuggets.
Even the
Should we-
films I've liked this year have all had suspect writing at one
Yeah.
stage or another. Even the good ones, and there have been a few good films this year. Nothing amazing, but all of them have had problems with the writing. It just seems to be a modern thing, and I don't know if it reflects upon modern audiences where they need to have something happen every 10 minutes. You need to have a big action scene. But this film, 15 minutes in, most
Yeah.
action that's happened is John Travolta's punched somebody in the face. Oh, and shot, grazed his head. You know, there's been no big action scene or anything like that. In Hollywood these days, it almost certainly would have had something to try and maintain the interest of people, because the writing doesn't do it. And the writing is doing all the heavy lifting, that and the acting. This is just great actors just doing great acting jobs, and that keeps you, nobody's phoning it in. It keeps you invested in the film, because character is nearly everything in narrative, more so than events. If you don't have good characters, you can have the most exciting story in the world. If you don't have good characters to get invested in, you won't care.
Yeah, I know. And these guys are these are angels as well, but they do have these they have these very colourful personalities, yet they still feel very real.
But that's good. That's good that they're not angels.
I love that.
You need that, because what happens these days in films is characters are so two-dimensional. Like any Hollywood movie that happens at the moment, if a woman does anything bad, she'll be forgiven, she'll be redeemed, and there'll be a bloke, and it's all his fault.
It's
Every
terrible as well.
single film you see now is boring. There is no depth. There is no unknown quantity. It's all the same, and it just makes, well, for one thing, it curtails writers' creative choices, even if they were competent enough to be able to do it, because you can't do certain things. And as soon as you say you can't do certain things in art, which, let's face it, is what the movie experience is, it's creative process, then you're going to lose the quality. And it doesn't matter how good the special effects are or anything like that. If the characters and the story aren't there, it won't matter.
Yeah, and by far the worst kind of censorship is self-censorship. I think once you have people, performing self-censorship, then you know that they're pandering to, whomever the top brass are. I think it was Kazuo Ishiguro who wrote Remains of the Day. He when he released his last book, Clara and the Sun, he said, you watch in the next 5-10 years, he said, I've already seen it now. He said authors, playwrights, screenwriters, poets even, they're all self-censoring because they're so shit scared of offending somebody, of offending one particular demographic. And of course he was attacked relentlessly for saying that. And this is a guy who's British, he's British Japanese, And
it's so unfair as well. It really is, because it's stifling the creativity of many really talented people that have the potential to really do well with their craft. And it's too many fucking idiots are in charge of this who have no passion for it whatsoever. They just want to fucking score brownie points, whatever it is. It's they want credibility without earning it.
It's all progressive though, so it makes the world a better place. Hooray.
Yeah, what was it Dill Die said? You ever heard the term woke? But Karen Flores is a very good character as well. I mean, she's a little bit cynical as well, but you can sort of see why she is. She's kind of had this career as this scream queen, and
she's had a rough ride, hasn't she?
Well, and she's married to
she married to Martin Weir, and and that was before he became famous, but then he became big and full of himself. She's divorced now, and she's always
bullshit, basically.
Yeah, she's always been miscast as these fucking dumb bimbos that get killed, but she seems to be very smart. She seems to be very sharp. She's very witty. She's very funny. She's very grounded as well. So when you see later when Martin Weir starts doing his all acting process thing, acting all pretentious, like she's like, oh, for fuck's sake, stop pissing about.
Yeah,
she's very funny in it as well. It's the way she delivers her lines as well.
She is, yeah. Rene Russo's great in this.
Yes,
I know. And even though Chili Palmer's here just to sort of like collect, he can't help himself. He kind of likes to take life by the balls when he can. He's a go-getter, and he's seen a good chance to escape his life, so he thinks, I'm with this producer now, this director. I'm going to give him an idea for a movie. I'm going to take a chance, and he's won him over. He's like, he's very interested in the story, and you can sort of see a friendship coming between them right now as well. And you sort of see that a little bit with Chili as well, compared with Harry Zim, because we found out later Harry Zim has been trying to get Martin Weir for his film, but he keeps pissing about going through all these people, while Chili Palmer's like, listen, I'm not going to do all that. I'm not going to piss about. I'm going to go straight to Martin Weir because we want him for this film, right? We don't need to mess around like this. Get straight to the point.
The thing is, probably nobody's giving Zim these scripts. You know, he's got a reputation now for doing these B movies and stuff, and I think nobody's giving these scripts for him to read. So the fact that this good idea has fallen into his lap, he's going to try and make the most of it. But as I said,
it's one of his writers as well who wrote his B movies, but he finally had. But he did write a really script that could be a script that could be this Oscar contender, and he kept it in his drawer for 20 years. And
Mr. Lovejoy.
Yeah, and I think Harry Zim does want to do right by him by making this movie, but he's got himself into this fucking situation where he owes all these people money trying to speculate to accumulate, but it's not gone so well.
Bette Midler wants $500,000 for the script as well, because she owns the rights to it, apparently.
Yeah. So he's got that. And then we come to the part where Chili is pitching the movie idea as well, which is obviously used from the job he's supposed to be doing right now. And we found out more about Leo.
Life.
Yeah, we found out more about Leo and the scam and everything. Is like he's pitching a movie, but he's also giving us exposition to the actual reason why he's there, and it's very cleverly done. And I love how in there he's probably envisioning her being a bit more over the top, going, "Oh my Leo."
You're like 20 minutes in, and you care about every single character in this movie. So, do we give hats off to the screenwriter?
Yeah, I give hats off to the screenwriter as well, because it wasn't just because I think because they're adapting from a book.
Yeah,
and
which is obviously a fabulous book.
The thing is, when you adapt from a book, not everything that worked in the book is going to work well on screen, and it's finding out what kind of changes or additions will help it screen wise.
Yeah.
So he did
He did do a really good job, and it's an incredibly difficult thing to adapt from an existing source material, particularly the source material that's in the long form, like a book, like a novel. Because obviously in a book, you can use as many words as you like to describe any situation, the thoughts of somebody, the emotions within, all of that kind of stuff, let alone the characters and the situations. Whereas in a screenplay, you have to use the minimal amount of language, the minimum amount of words to convey the maximum amount of information. And it's an incredibly difficult, it's a really hard job to do.
It is.
Yeah, no, because you get like The Shining as well, where Stephen King actually adapted the miniseries, and it was totally faithful to the book, and it was fucking shite.
Yeah.
Some things don't translate well.
Being dumped when it shouldn't be. Well, Stanley Kubrick knew what to do with this film. He took away all the exposition and made it more vague. Made you want to question more. It made you. It actually made people want to discuss what the fuck was happening, and come to their own conclusions. And Stephen King may have hated it, but that's because he's a fucking idiot who doesn't realize that what translates on screen needs to be different to the book occasionally.
He looks.
Sorry, I was going to say at this point, could I just quickly point out that Toxic's got a series that he's working on at the moment called Consider the Source.
Yeah,
and it's to me, I think it sounds one of the most kind of exciting YouTube projects that I've heard in a long time, and it's in essence
he's good.
Examining examining the sort of literary work and the adaptation to screen, and he's sort of doing a sort of compare and contrast with, I think, movies that are considered to be better than the source material. So I think that if anyone's watching and interested in that kind of thing, take a look at that when it sort of comes around. Have a look.
Yeah,
Awesome. Have to have a look at that.
Nix is asking, is the book good? Yeah, the book is fucking great. It's there are a few differences, but not by much, to be honest. And it's a shame Toxic couldn't make it because he'll remember more about the book than I do. I'm just trying to recount what I can remember, hopefully he can make it for No Country for Old Men, which is in another few weeks.
Oh, that is a beaut.
Yeah,
yeah.
But yeah, if you haven't already, do subscribe to Lord Toxic's channel. I've actually put his channel in the description anyway, so do check it out. He's very good, and hopefully he gets a new laptop soon and can get making some more videos because I want to see more from him. I want to see him do. I want to see him do Get Shorty as well, or more Elmore Leonard stuff. I would love to see him do that. And I do like the fact that Harry Zim starts fucking adding into the fucking story as well, and Chili's like, "What's happening here? What?
What are you talking about?"
Yeah, but that seems to be a thing that seems to be happening as well. In the book, it describes it more as well. Like they have a script, and suddenly the movie star starts adding into the fucking script as well, thinking he's the writer, and it's like
which is something that I imagine happens a hell of a lot. That's how a lot of actors end up with executive producer credits.
Yeah.
Yeah, because have you ever seen that interview with Tony Kaye where he's talking about Edward Norton just fucking taking over American History X, and he was really pissed off about it. He still feels like he's. I don't know if. I hope he's listening because he might be able to establish. Is he still angry that Edward Norton took over now, or is he sort of or is he a bit more forgiving now? I don't know.
And from what I can gather, there's still a little bit of bad blood between them. Yeah, animosity, I think, is probably the best way to describe it. Yeah.
Yeah, apparently Edward Norton's well known for it as well. Like he always
Edward Norton is very, very hard to work with. Nearly every single thing he's worked on, people have just hated him. But then it's the same as James Cameron. James Cameron is well renowned for being a hard-headed director. And
you're absolutely right. But then
I have a theory that in order to be a true creative, an artist, somebody who excels at that kind of thing, you do need to be a bit of an arsehole, a bit driven. It's like rock stars. The reason they're rock stars is because of their attitudes. You don't get any shrinking violet rock stars.
Yeah. It's kind of it's less arrogance, more assertiveness, isn't it? I mean,
absolutely. And it just comes off quite often as just being a dick, and it's just part of the person, I suppose, really. But with Edward Norton, he's heavily. I mean, the Incredible Hulk film that he did was just an absolute nightmare from start to finish.
And the thing is, I actually do like that Hulk film as well. A lot of people don't, but I still do. And he is a fucking good actor, even if he is probably a bit of a prick in real life. But
yeah, but I mean, it happens, doesn't it? I mean, look at the Christian Bale incident that happened in Terminator Salvation, where he loses his shit. Oh, good for you, and that kind of stuff. And
do you think it was justified a little bit, because it sounded like this was a thing that kept happening a lot, and Christian Bale finally lost his temper.
Actors are intense people when they get in the zone. It's
the problem is, right, one of the most important people on the set, right, is going to be the director of photography. Right, if the director of photography can't do tweaking in order to get the shot correct, then the director's not going to get the shot. The shot's not going to be, not going to be one of the takes that is going to be printed. It's not going to be in the film. So he still has to do his job. I do think that Christian Bale, personally, I think that it was quite a bit precious on that. I just think that he was having a bit of a bad day, and that was it. I don't think that that's really him. I'd like to think not. I mean, I worked on one of the Batman films with him, and he seemed okay to me.
Yeah, I like Christian Bale. He's always come across as a decent guy to me.
In interviews, doesn't he? Yeah. But then so does Tom Cruise, and Tom Cruise lost it at somebody as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. You know, it happens. It does happen. It's
It's
not.
intense, you know, and
Yeah,
actors
it
will
is
tell you
intense.
that they're getting into the character and
Yeah,
they'll make
yeah.
it out to be some great life-changing thing. It's like, no, you are just pretending. You're very good at pretending, but you are just pretending.
Yeah.
But,
Plus, you're waiting around a lot as well.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, when you're watching a scene that's like 5 minutes long, and it's in one fucking room, it could have taken like fucking days to a shot because there was always something going on, or the
And
lighting.
how many takes are on? How many takes are
Yeah.
ruined by stupid things like a mic, a boom mic and shot, or something stupid like that? And what Nick says here, if you give great quality, is it not expected to demand professionalism and more? I think it depends how good you are.
Yeah.
I think if you're an amazing actor who's like, you know, got awards and is well renowned, there'll be leeway for a bit of you know, arsehole behaviour. And everybody on set might be secretly going, "Oh, that guy's an arsehole," like everybody did with James Cameron in Aliens.
Yeah.
He went and made
No,
Aliens.
but he's
in India,
delivered some fucking
and he
great
wouldn't
films.
let him have tea breaks.
Yeah.
Because he
Yeah,
knew what he's doing, and you know,
He's
some
a visionary.
people
He
didn't
knows
see
exactly
that
what
way.
he wants to do.
You're
and
absolutely
he want it
right.
to happen. And if you're in the way of that, he will just tear you down.
Yeah,
what he
perfect word to describe him. Absolutely perfect word to describe him. A visionary. That's exactly what he is.
Oh yeah. Yeah, his earlier stuff is still fucking great. I mean, because he always looks like he has put a lot of effort in and research into what he was doing. I mean,
He does. He's an artist. He's a writer. He wrote my favourite film of all time, Strange Days. You know,
he
is you know, that kind of a guy, and that comes with a certain attitude. You don't get that. You don't get things done if you're a shrinking violet introvert. You know,
and that's, you get a lot of like directors who've never had any control, do they? Someone else is doing it behind the scenes, and there's just no passion in it. I like a director that has his vision, and even if it fails to entertain me, at least he's done it the way he wanted to do it. And not apologize.
It results in the best products, in my opinion. You can tell when a director has phoned something as much as an actor.
Yeah,
you know, and the passion for a project shines through, because, as I've said, this is art. It's not. It's always meant to be art. There is so much disposable cinema these days. You know, the creative process should be an artist.
It's just horrendous now. Like, you get directors that's like made an advert for tampons, and then they're given a Disney project for 180 million.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck's that all about?
They're not even really directing much of it as well, because they're not doing the action scenes.
Well, yeah, look at Nia DaCosta. She walked off halfway through the Marvels to do something else. It's like, wait a minute, are you supposed to focus on one film first before you do another thing?
They're cast. That's all it is. They've got the right opinion, or the right skin color, or the right sexuality, and they're cast.
When we did Masters of the Air, and what we were doing a weekly stream on Masters of the Air, 9 episodes. 9. What a weird number of episodes. But there was one particular episode where it really kind of twisted into the exact kind of narrative that we would have expected. And it turns out that the writer of this episode, her credits, and this is absolutely true, bearing in mind this is a Second World War drama, her previous credits were Peppa Pig.
No, that's a real big fucking step up. That's an enormous step.
I mean, I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. And when I happened to mention it on the stream, I think a few jaws dropped, and I don't think Lance had sort of kind of believed me, or nobody else believed me. I think that Lance just Googled it, and he's gone, "Oh my god, yeah, you're right." Yeah, a previous writing credits were on Peppa Pig.
But it happens all the time with writers as well. With writers, you had the writers of Rings of Power. It's only $1 billion, don't worry. But they got the writers who their only writing credit was writing half of Star Trek Beyond.
Yeah,
it's $1 billion.
Nia DaCosta
project. Lord of the Rings, Tolkien. You're trying to live up to, Jackson's trilogy, which is one of the most revered and best regarded of all time. I would say of all time.
Agreed.
And you go and get the guy who wrote half of Star Trek Beyond to write on it. I mean, seriously. And Star Wars, you've got Charmaine Beggar. I can't remember what her name is.
Chinhead.
She's an activist director who's directed a couple of anti-men documentaries in India. And I don't want to make anti-men sound like a bad thing, because obviously in India, the way that women are treated is disgusting. There's loads of rape, gang rapes, that kind of stuff. So I fully understand her doing that activist stuff. But she is not the woman that you put in charge of the next Star Wars movie.
No.
It's probably make or break for the Star Wars franchise. I mean, it's dead already. But if there's any hope of bringing it back, that next movie has to be perfect. And you go and put a woman who's only made some documentaries.
Yeah, they need to get someone who knows Star Wars, who knows the fucking extended universe, the lore itself. And
it's insanity. It is absolute insanity. It's equity over equality, and it is fucking over absolutely everything. Because people, rather than working on lots of little films and making a name for themselves, they're being thrust into the spotlight. They're being given big titles, and it's not doing them any favors, because when they fail, it adversely affects their own career. And it's not always through their own fault. They've just been thrust into the spotlight because we can go, oh, we've got the first black woman director in a Marvel film. And then you get the Marvels.
And none of them have ever got in there and got their hands dirty. None of them have worked.
I don't think any of them care. I think that they all think, oh, this is a groundbreaking moment. This is, this is
money laundering now.
Balance, whatever. But none of them ever turn around and say, I'm really excited to work on this film. I love these comics.
But where have they come from? None of them have been runners. None of them have been cameras.
Got the right opinion. That's all it is.
Loaders or work from the ground up. Like
There's
a lot
of group of them. And it's, if you've got the right opinion, you're in the right groups, and you're on the right side of the political divide. Although I'm not a political person myself, you are more likely to get work. Chris Gore, who runs Film Threat magazine, said that all of his friends in Hollywood now, when they get a census come through, like a questionnaire, they click. Oh my god, it's the Woodford Reserve, but it's worth it. They tick queer for sexual identity, because it's the safest bet to make sure that you're not ostracized. Because if you put straight, you're going to be overlooked. So you could put queer, and queer can mean nearly anything. So they don't have to.
Jobs on
it's actually unbelievable that we're in this situation.
No merit whatsoever.
Yeah, no meritocracy. It's just, you think the right way. You're saying things we like. We'll give you the job. Not can you do the job? And like, people are having a go about The Acolyte at the moment and saying, oh, you're just being racist because it's got 2 black leads. Let's be quite clear. Star Wars The Acolyte could be the most white dude bro Republican thing in the world, and the writing, the pacing, the directing, and the acting would all be absolute dog shite still. Because the person running it doesn't know what the fuck they're doing.
Exactly, because once again, they're just fucking not bothering with trying to flesh out characters, add fucking context, anything like that, or respect to the fucking law.
It's laughable. I mean, Fallout wasn't even that great, but I loved it by comparison.
Yeah, because there was still some passion into it, even despite the clumsy communist. Was it pro-communist or something?
Yeah, more or less. It was very anti-capitalist, wasn't it? Very anti-capitalist.
But
because they made not the government, the corporation Voltec, the big bad, who were prepared to wipe out.
But all it did was make fucking the communists even worse by having them fucking kill innocent people. It's exactly making me want to support your cause. It's
it's just, and that's why when I watch something like this, where there is no agenda, it's just Barry Sonnenfeld, I think it was.
Yes.
And Barry Sonnenfeld, I think he'd just done both Addams Family movies as well after this. Before
Men in
Black, wasn't it?
Barry Sonnenfeld started off as a cinematographer in porn movies, believe it or not.
But this is what I'm talking about. You just very succinctly made the point. He started as a cinematographer in porn movies. He worked his way up.
He worked with the Coen brothers quite a lot as well.
He did. Back in the early days. And
then when he earned his
place, a little bit of that style as well, the way the film's shot, you can see a little bit.
Definitely. And he earned his stripes, and he made good product. Whereas what we have at the moment is a load of people not earning their stripes and making shit product.
But it is exactly as you say that, you know, suddenly, you know, you have these people that think that the, you know, they have to go directly to producer, directly to director, directly to screenwriter. That there's no steps on that ladder that they need to take, no other steps. I mean, even Quentin Tarantino, you know, not many people really talk about this, but he was actually a PA on exercise videos, you know, the workout videos. So he wasn't just working in video archives and stuff like that. He was trying to get as much experience in the industry as he possibly could. Alfred Hitchcock, for example, I mean, he used to create the title cards for silent movies, do the lettering and the artwork for the you know, different dialogue cards in silent movies. You know, Steven Spielberg was a PA. John Landis was a PA. George Lucas was a PA. Francis Coppola was a PA. You know, Runner and who else was it? Scorsese.
Kathleen Kennedy started off as that kind of thing and then got into producing, and unfortunately, that hasn't worked.
She seems to take it personal as well with Spielberg and George Lucas, because now she's fucking jeopardizing everything they created.
I think it's gone beyond that jeopardizing. I think she's destroyed it.
Yeah, she has.
She's destroyed Indiana Jones. She destroyed Willow. She's destroyed Lucasfilm. George's creation has been completely ruined.
Yeah, we'll move on from that now. I think with because we do end up getting sidetracked, but once again,
we haven't got
this is where Harry Zim fans
blue collar losers to get us back on track.
I know we do a little bit, don't we? Yeah, but yeah.
Anyway, but looking at Rene Russo in this purple t-shirt, hot.
Yeah, she looks fucking good in there, and she shows she's sharper than Harry Zim as well, because Harry Zim's like, wait, you haven't got. Oh, that's it. You've barely got a movie, and the characters aren't likable, and the Sherlock's not.
I mean, what exactly is her relationship with Harry Zim in this film?
Yeah, it sounds like she's she was probably trying to fucking get Martin Weir as well, use her to get Martin Weir, and she ended up kind of having a pity fuck with him. That's what I'm guessing what happened.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So there's nothing deep going on then.
No, there isn't as well, and obviously she probably is putting up with him still a little bit, even though. And she knows instantly that Chili is the fucking Sherlock, and Harry Zim just.
So it's her house.
It's her house, yeah.
Her house, yeah.
Yeah, she says that. I'd like you and your new buddy out of my house.
Yeah. So
he's only got that office then, by the looks of things.
Yeah, he's been sleeping in that fucking office for a long time, and we found out it's he's on the fucking bottom of the barrel of the Hollywood movie industry. He really is. And he's obviously not fucking smart as well, because he assumes that Chili's the fucking guy who owes the money. She cottons onto Chili straight away about who he is, and she's very suspicious about him as well, because he's kind of trespassed in her house, even though the door was open, and it goes to show her life's not totally organised as well, because she keeps leaving the doors open all the fucking time, and her pool needs skimming, and.
She's intrigued by him, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Look, he's a little bit starstruck as well. He's like, and but he plays it cool though. And look at her. She's frothing at the knickers here. She is. And obviously Harry Zim sees that. Okay, so you're the Sherlock, and he's asking him all his questions. Do you get a little heavy with people? You know, blah blah blah. Because he might see Chili as a way to get him out of his situation a little bit. He might have his own little bit of fucking muscle, because he's all alone and he's got these people hounding him. And in the book, it does go a bit more into detail about how he describes the loan shark, and like
here we have
he never goes out of his way to break legs like the movie says, because listen, all I do, if a person asks me for a loan and I say, all right, I'll only lend you the money if I'm sure that you are going to pay it back. If he convinces me, I will do it, and I never break legs. They always pay. If I broke legs, then they're going to be laid up in the hospital, wasting more fucking money, and I'm never going to get that money back. So, and we never get that in the film, and it's entirely understandable. It's a shame they left it out, but it would have dragged the film down. So,
I think you can kind of I think you can kind of get that implied. It's implicit with the way that John Travolta plays the character to a certain extent.
Yeah, you don't really need it either. I mean, it'd make a nice deleted scene.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And this is where we get to meet the limo guys that he owes money to, and apparently they're in. We meet Delroy Lindo as well, who's also kind of playing against type. He usually plays these very sort of like dignified, wise old father figures, and here he's a bit of a fucking arrogant bastard. He just happens to be a more suave, arrogant bastard.
Yeah, he's definitely playing the arsehole in this scenario, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a small town criminal.
He just starts off as like a cool, collected kind of dude, like when he's talking to the guy who's come to collect the money. But I really like.
I always figure he's a small town criminal, but he's trying to appear more than he is. Yeah, he's putting on an image. He's got the flash suits and everything, so he's obviously a guy who who isn't very smart with money as well, because he ends up getting himself in these fucking stupid situations as well, to the point of desperation.
It's just another moving part. But as I say, the narrative is developing organically. This doesn't feel like it's been bolted on.
I know.
Just like,
it's like these little plot threads that all come together for this one moment, and
you see all the pieces start to move into place around about an hour and 15 minutes into the movie, I would say. It just all literally got this
little transaction here as well, aren't you? With these, is it Michael Pena who's real young? I don't know, but he's
that's
obviously
Michael Pena, is it?
Yeah, I don't know. Let's have a look.
Holy shit!
I don't know if it is. He looks like him, but he's
very. Let's find out.
No.
Yeah.
It's, Jakob Vargas.
Yeah, and they're doing this transfer as well, and unfortunately, though, the money that they're supposed to be swapping is now in the fucking locker, and the only way to get and it's all, and they're all surrounded by these feds who have been hot on this as well, and
holy shit! There's James Gandolfini.
Yeah, James Gandolfini is the bear. He's
that's almost unrecognisable.
Yeah, well, and he's very different to the roles he usually got played most of the time. Yeah, in fact, James Gandolfini is more like this than he was as Tony Soprano. If you watch the interview with Joe Rogan between the guy who played Bobby and the guy who played Chris, they're like, he was like a fucking hippie in real life. Soon as the press cut, James Gandolfini would put his bandana on and start chilling out in his trailer.
I need to ask a question.
Yeah.
What was the thing with the plane ticket there on top of the
just so we can get the luggage.
And what was in the suitcase?
Money that was supposed to be done for the transfer, but obviously they can't do it because it's being watched by the feds.
Right.
And I think Delroy Lindo's character is very stupid. They're just putting it in there and just handing him the key and expecting him to just get it and get out. It's that's not going to work like that.
Yeah. Why did he do it in an airport?
He's setting him up to take the fall.
Yeah. And obviously it does lead to his downfall a little bit as well, and his desperation later on.
I love the crazy little bit of comedy that happens later, where you get the Jacob character looking at everybody's legs, and there's these massive, outrageous bulges.
Everyone's got a bulge.
Yeah, and he's sort of seen it where it's not there as well. Like he sees a fucking kid just dancing to his Walkman.
Yeah, exactly.
Just a kid. And this is where we get to know these limo guys a little bit as well. And James Gandolfini is obviously the heavy, but he's good with his daughter as well. And we get to meet Ronnie, and he's another arsehole as well. He's full of fucking hot air. He's very arrogant and full of himself, and he's very delusional.
Plays a good part, doesn't he?
Yeah.
They eyed up Steve Buscemi and Matthew McConaughey for that.
Yeah, he was going to play that role. Hey, Stupenza, how you doing, man? Yeah, Delroy. Yeah, you mentioned that in the hardware, didn't you? Delroy Lindo is the coolest name in Hollywood. Yeah, Toxic's computer. I hope he gets it fixed soon because I want to see more stuff from him, and I'm hoping he can make some more appearances on my stream as well as everyone else's stream.
Definitely.
So maybe you can take it to a tech mancer and they can resurrect it. You never know.
Yeah. Plus, you know a bit about James Gandolfini as well. He doesn't like people swearing in front of his daughter, so he's definitely a good guy. But he's
he's like the bad guy with a heart of gold, isn't he? You can already tell.
Yeah.
Set up.
And he just kind of redeems himself a little bit as the movie goes on. He ends up kind of redeeming himself more than the other characters do.
Napoleon. I bet that was better than Ridley Scott's.
I was going to say, I was just thinking that.
Fucking hell.
Watch the Outcast Creatives breakdown of it. It's of that Napoleon movie. It's really fucking funny. It's got it's got a lot of his friends playing these like fake directors who have these like really fucking bonkers stories about what's happening behind the scenes.
All right.
Really check it out. And it's also a good way to establish just how much of a big star Martin Weir is. He's like this really good actor, but he's been pushed into every single fucking role, even ones that he is not right for. But because he's the big box office draw, they got to have him in this movie and make their money.
I just got to do a little bit of name dropping here.
Yeah.
We went to Mother Half and I. We went to Michael Giacchino's 50th birthday bash. Right, Michael Giacchino, the composer, and whilst we're there, we bumped into Danny DeVito of all people.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you use them to put your drinks on?
I know. I knew you were thinking like that.
Sorry, Danny.
We all love Danny DeVito, though. And plus,
Yeah.
he does seem very comfortable with his height as well, even though people.
Yeah, no, I reckon he'd
Yeah.
be cool. Yeah, honestly, they take it in good stuff.
Yeah, he seems to have a good sense
I
of
don't think
humor.
he'd get short with you.
Yeah.
Romance on the Stone, his greatest ever.
Just a little.
Yeah. But yeah, carry on inside, man.
Yeah. So we actually that was it. We bumped into Danny DeVito.
I like him though. He's
Yeah.
Despite his fucking he has a big disadvantage that could stop him from getting many parts, but somehow he still manages to fucking kill it though. And he's always very talented, always likable.
I don't think
I
he's ever
always
really
like it
got it
better when he
wrong.
is playing arseholes though. I think his best performances is when he's arseholes. So he pulls it off with this great confidence that most actors of his height wouldn't be able to do.
I think when you think of Danny DeVito, I can't really think of a foot he's put wrong.
No, I don't think so either.
No.
I can't really think of any massive missteps he's made. Obviously, he's made a few crap films. Definitely made some crap films. I mean, Christ, he wrote and directed a crap film I watched the other day. God, that was really bad. What was it? Oh,
I don't know.
It was terrible. So bad, I think I've actually blotted it from my fucking memory. But
but yeah, he is very good in this film as well, and he is kind of similar to the book version, but at the same time, he's kind of different, and we'll get more to that later. And obviously, Harry Zim's going over about how he met this shrink who passed the script to Lovejoy over to fucking his trainer, and they read it and said Martin loved it, but now. And obviously Chili Palmer's just like, yeah, this guy's a total fuck up. He has done a lot of stupid shit, and he's trying to really put on a brave face about it, and it's not doing well. And he's also talking about the limo guys who he actually lent money for to put into his film Freaks, and it's not going well because he blew all the fucking money in Vegas, and now he's in deep shit with them, and he needs Chili Palmer to get them off his back. Yeah, and obviously he was gambling it because he wanted to try and make more money for his other script, Mr. Lovejoy. But it's you fucking go gambling to make extra money. You better be fucking good at it, otherwise you're in deep shit. But it also does establish a few points as well here, like we see Martin Weir. He sits here because he can see his billboard over there, and she sits there because the sun's in her face, and she gets to wear it's an excuse to wear sunglasses, and describes the little quirky eccentricities of these of famous people in LA, and I love that. It's very funny.
Hey, it's Martin Weir. Played the mob guy turned snitch in Cyclone.
Yeah,
it was one of his best parts.
Best part is when he played the crippled gay guy.
Ride the Clouds.
The crippled gay guy who climbed Mount Whitney. Yeah, that's definitely fucking Oscar bait, that.
It's just Ride the Clouds.
Yeah, so obviously, yeah, he's letting Chili Palmer know he wants him to get these limo guys to back off because he has no idea how to do it. He's not a fucking tough guy, and they scare him. He actually believes they're going to fucking break his legs like loan sharks do. And now we come here to his office, and I just love looking at these old pictures of him as well. And it brings a lot of exposition about his character, the stupid cheesy pose he's doing with his veneers. And it cracks me up. It really does. And the office is just a total tip as well, even with the windows open. You can barely see fuck all. There's barely any lighting. It's all musty and it's dusty everything.
Yeah, it is kind of like one of those 1940s film noir, detectives' offices. Sort of hardboiled detectives' office. Yeah.
And it's a shitty little office as well. It's not a big fancy one. And Feather establishes just how really fucking low hanging fruit he is as a director.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. He's a fucking loser. He's kind of spineless and a bit of a coward, and he's naive, and it suits his character really well.
You get the feeling that he basically talked himself into some deals, managed to shit out a few movies, and just from there kind of
scraping by.
Maybe have a couple of hits or a couple of things that he might have been known for, and he's totally faded now, and he sees this movie as a chance to get back into it.
I know, and
even it's great. Yeah. You're not told any of this. It's all inferred from his character, from his actions.
Yeah, all visually. Yeah. You put the pieces together just by looking at those images alone.
These days, you'd absolutely have somebody dump some exposition that was telling you that.
Yeah. My mother was researching spiders when she died.
For fuck's sake!
Yeah.
I could have written a better film. I mean that. I could have actually written a better film. I
could have written a better film while drunk on a fucking napkin. It's that's how bad that film was.
Sure, don't tell.
Same goes for the Marvels. Fuck me. Yeah. I found that film I was talking about. It's called Duplex. DeVito directed it. He didn't write it, and it was fucking awful. It's Ben Stiller and Drew Barrymore. And I'm
guessing Danny DeVito really did try his best as well.
The property. They try and kill her, and it's shit.
Yeah, Death to Smoochie is very underrated by Danny DeVito. That's I like that film. Watch that for the first time. It's very underrated. But yeah, this scene as well, it just fucking cracks me up. He's telling him, right, I want the light in the face. Have them sit in the chairs as well, because it's like a power thing, isn't it? Like, have them sit in chairs that are too comfy, but at the same time not too awkward either, and have the light in the face, so he's shrouded in a bit more of a silhouette. Build up this image, and keep more mystery. Don't mention Lovejoy. Don't tell him my name. And what does Harry do? He fucks it all up. He's like, this is Chili Palmer, and Chili Palmer's like, oh fuck's sake. And I'll give Chili credit. He does adapt a little bit though. He actually still manages to assert some dominance over them.
Yeah.
Well, this is why Chili's successful and Harry isn't.
Yeah. And that guy turns around to him and says, "Excuse me, bro, but who the fuck are you?" I'm the one who's telling you how it is.
Also, Delroy Lindo's chin. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
In the book, though, Harry actually thinks somehow Harry gets the idea that Ronnie is the leader, not Catler. And I was reading the book, thinking, "Oh my god, this is very different to the film." But then, as soon as Catler starts to speak, Chili's like, "How the fuck did you not think Catler was the one in charge? Why do you think Ronnie was?" And yet, Catler, he probably is a little bit more smarter than Ronnie is, because he is sort of like keeping quiet and letting fucking Ronnie run his mouth and think he owns the show. And Chili Palmer just fucking calls him out. He actually fucking shuts him up a little bit when he says, "I'm the guy telling you how it is."
Well, he's measured, isn't he? It's like Harry is just blah 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 blah. I have to keep saying stuff because I shit talk my way out of things, and Kapler's character and Chili Palmer are like they kind of they'll judge a situation before engaging.
And I think that scene actually really kind of tells you everything you need to know about Harry Zim. You know, it's his mouth that's always getting him into trouble. He doesn't take advice. He never takes advice. You know, so you got everything there. That's, you know, that's really your exposition on him as a character. That's it. You know, and they haven't said anything about him. It's in his actions. It's in his words.
As I say, these days you would have Karen probably would have
Yeah.
a conversation with Chili, and she'd give you loads of information about Harry
Yeah.
that you've just said, because we can see it because of Hackman's performance and because of the way that the set's dressed and everything like that. But nowadays, because modern audiences are stupid, or the Hollywood just thinks they're stupid, it would absolutely be laid out. There would be no.
Yeah. They
Everything
don't
would be
trust their
explicit.
audience anymore. They really don't. And and once again, and like you said, Harry's big mouth gets him into trouble because if you hadn't mentioned this other script and just said, "Oh, it's going to be delayed for a month," and that's it, just did the thing, Carlo
like
would
you
not
said.
be interested in this other film as well, because
information is power, and Harry just keeps giving it away.
Oh, exactly, yeah. Like withhold information, otherwise I could use it against you. But it's like they start to go back on the deals, like either pay our fucking money back or whatever that money you ordered, put it into this next Mr. Lovejoy thing. And obviously, Harry's is very precious about it. He doesn't want anyone else getting involved in this. It means so much to him more than his B movies. This is his one chance to show he can be a big director and not just this Roger Corman knockoff.
Yeah.
And he does show a little bit of dominance there for a little bit, but only fucking pisses Catlet off as well. And he's obviously he's had his ass and he's had his ass handed to him, and he's not going to fucking back down now. He's going to pursue this. And also, Ronnie just makes himself look like an even more of a fucking tit here. Yeah, and this is another bit that shows how different Chili and Harry's image as well is. Like he mentioned this Mr. Lovejoy and getting him in on it. He's like, I said I would think about it. That means nothing here. And Chili's like, yeah, that's the difference between you and me. I say what I fucking mean. I ain't bothering with this trainer shrink thing. I'm going to go to Martin Weir and try and get him to sign up on this movie. And so now he's ringing Matt Ferrero's character as well, and he's like, he knows that Ray Bones is getting pissed off, wondering where the fucking money is, why hasn't he been contacted. And he's broken into fucking Karen Flores' house again. Even though she left the door open.
Yeah, I love that line. You broke into
you broke into
this is racist, doors open.
I know. Yeah, even though it's open, it's still kind of trespassing. But he's so fucking charming, you'd let him trespass.
Well, that's what he's got. He's got a full charm offensive. Every single person he meets in this movie, he charms in one way or another.
Yep.
Apart from Ray and Delroy Lindo's character, pretty much. But everybody else he manages to charm. Harry, Karen, Martin, Bear.
I think he does it organically, though, doesn't he? He doesn't kind of force himself to.
No, it's a charm offensive. It's just he's understated. He doesn't bluster. He doesn't
charisma.
And as I say, with most of them, it goes through movies. His love of movies allows him to
giving the riz.
Nice.
Yeah, he's kind of like the kill him with kindness kind of guy, isn't he? He's like. But he only really gets violent when he needs to, and he's never really happy to do it. He's the kind of guy who, if he could go about his day without having to fucking punch someone or whatever, he's fine with it. And you can see Karen Flores as well. She's still playing the scream queen, and she's fed up of it. She's bored of it. She's getting older now. It's like, I can't be doing this in my fucking 40s. I'm not evolving with my life. I need to fucking move on with it and progress. She's stuck in the same rut she has been for the last.
She's climbed. She was climbing her way out of a grave, and the director didn't think she was showing enough emotion. Yeah, that was the director that was incapable of reaching emotion.
It shows how passionate he is about movies. Even the ones that people will see as fucking trash, he has some kind of fondness for them, and he still sees some kind of good in it as well.
I think
And he
that's
also,
also a little bit of a a trait of Tarantino's as well. I think that there might be a little bit of Tarantino in that character as well.
oh
Because
yeah,
the kind of
definitely.
stuff
I
that
wouldn't be surprised.
Tarantino loves is you know a lot of people would really completely dismiss it, but of course he sees these different things in it than the majority of people. He sees a different kind of aesthetic. Um, and by seeing these different aesthetic in these different movies, right, right across the genre, the span of genres, and
Mm.
he's kind of reintroduced a whole new sort of public into some of these, forgotten and lesser known movies. And I think that's where they've kind of written a little bit of Tarantino into Chili Palmer.
Yeah, I won't be surprised at that as well because I think he's. Because I did see an interview where he was talking about Get Shorty, and he was almost mimicking Tarantino a little bit when they were talking about him, convincing him to actually say yes to the script, and he kind of nailed it on,
Yeah,
and he even kind of wins Karen, he even makes Karen sort of say, okay, maybe I wasn't that bad, even though the film I did was kind of trash, and
yeah,
once again, he's slowly winning a good side to him. He's
yeah,
slowly winning her appeal a little bit, slowly, gradually. She's still a
yeah,
little funny about him because he's breaking into a fucking house and just comes out of nowhere. And
Which this speaks to the difference between her
yeah,
and Harry's characters. He had Harry eating out of his hands within literally 5 seconds.
yeah,
Karen,
and
she's a more
she is right to be a little
character,
suspicious
takes
of him as
longer
well.
to get over to his side.
Yeah, and she is right to be a little suspicious of him as well because he has kind of been honest about being a fucking gangster or a loan shark, and yeah, and she's been around a lot of fucking pricks in Hollywood as well who've always put on this fucking fake image or always fake, and she's kind of she seems very fatigued about it all.
mm,
So even meeting new people is kind of I can't really describe the word, but she's not very enthusiastic about it either because
yeah. So she got quite a sort of a jaded sort
yeah,
of look.
jaded.
Yeah,
I know, and she does, and she opens up to him a little bit more. Like she would love to do a film where she could say a great line like "I kiss you, but I just washed my hair," and I love how he says it
yeah,
at the same time as well.
yeah,
And we do
yeah,
learn a bit more about her. Like she was married to Martin Weir and all that stuff, and yeah. And I love this line as well where he goes, he said this Lovejoy is the best script he's ever read. And it's like, oh, you must mean after Slime Creatures 3. So yeah, she's not totally enthusiastic either. She's heard this before. She's bored of it. So she's very cynical about it. We also found out that even though Martin loved the script, he's one of those actors that'll say he loved the script, but when the deal comes, he'll fucking back out of it. Which I
yeah.
think might be a very common thing with most actors, including very, very big stars.
Yeah, I think it's kind of uh, part of the game, really. Um, Particularly the game that agents play as well.
Yeah. Yeah, because these actors and agents get loads of fucking scripts and they probably do like them, but then something comes up, they can't do it, or some other excuse. But you get a nice little shot of Egg in her fucking undies, which is always nice.
Yeah,
Rene Russo was fucking underage. She was a fucking
Mhm.
absolutely gorgeous woman. People seem to forget that. And obviously, Chili's a fucking go-getter. He's like, I'll go into Harry's script and I'll go into Harry's office and get the script. And I think he's even though he's starstruck, he actually sees an opportunity to think, you know what, I think I'll ask her out. You know, see a good movie with her, and she's a bit skeptical about it, so he just moves on because he has to get on with his job as well. And this is where Ray Bones comes in again. He's because he's wondering why the fuck he's not got his money back now. So and he's very impatient. He's not going to fuck about. And unlike Chili was very polite earlier with her, he just resorts to fucking pure aggression.
He gets straight to the point,
Yep.
doesn't he?
does.
He's an arsehole. He's a dog.
He says to her, "Have you spoke to Mr. Palmer since your husband blew up?"
Yeah, she does the whole little bits and that, you know, and it's doing that whole thing that women do to lie but give themselves away, and yeah, and I don't like the fact that he's pretending to be. He puts on this image that he's very courteous as well when he's like, "Listen, we're friends, right? Friends don't hit each other unless they have to." And it's very funny as well, especially in a very brutal scene. I mean, fucking hell, he really fucks her nose up good and proper.
Oh yeah, man, he punches her properly. It's not a slap or anything like that. He absolutely decks her.
There's
it goes-
Barry Sonnenfeld.
Yeah, and the test audiences did not like it, but the director said, "We got to keep it in because we've seen him as a kind of this clown earlier, but this shows that he is still a genuine threat, and we need to know that as well because he's going to be going after Chili Palmer, and we still need to be a little bit worried about him if Ray Bones ever does catch up to him."
That's Barry Sonnenfeld with the red suit on, by the way.
Yeah. Shit, man. Let's go back.
What?
Yeah, he sets himself into these films occasionally. He's on
Was that Barry Sonnenfeld?
Yeah,
that's it. That's
missed
it.
that.
12, doesn't he?
Yeah, I always like it when directors just make these little blink and you miss it moments.
I love Peter Jackson's cameos in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, fucking
And
outside
Hot
the
Fuzz.
Prancing Pony, he's munching on the carrot, looking
Yeah, that's
all
right.
mean
And then
shit.
he's one of the pirates on board the ship.
Yeah,
And
he's one of the guys on Helm's Deep as well. You can catch him throwing one of the spears, going, die, you bastard.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the sort of
well.
Yeah.
Peter
You can see this
Jackson
as a
did
guy
that
who's had loads of money and he's just been the biggest fucking arsehole he can. Biggest, look how fucking rich I am. He's got the bad fucking suit on, the terrible fucking hat, everything. All money, no fucking style or common sense.
Yeah, well, actually, he says he's leaving a trail like a caterpillar.
Yeah. And he's lucky that Chili Palmer has fucking found him because if it was Ray Bones that did it, he'd have fucking killed him just for pissing him off and wasting his time. He would. But obviously he's going to take... And he turned into a whiny bitch as well. He's like, you're taking all the money that I scammed? It's all mine. It's like, no, it's not. You fucking scammed the airport. You fucking... dangerous people money that have almost got your fucking wife in danger. No, you pay what you fucking owe. I mean...
I do like the bit where he comes out of the hotel room and it's just as Chili's walking away, and he gets a little bit brave, doesn't he?
Yeah, he
gets all brave and then
he starts ordering interest on Chili. He does. Chili just fucking turns around and gives him that look, and that's all he needs to do.
Yeah,
it's one little look. And he's like, he fucking shits himself, runs back into the room.
The thing is, like, Chili's not being unreasonable. He could have just, shot him there, taken the money and shot him, but he's not. He's set up a deal, and he's like, "I'll pay you back," and you know he will. That's the thing. You know Chili will do it because he's a man of his word, and he doesn't want to be the Shylock. He's honourable.
Yeah, I know that's good. Yeah, because even though he's working in a bit of a dodgy business, he's still trying to sort of be the good guy in that business, and I think that there's another reason why he wants to leave.
It doesn't mean he has to take a massive joy in it. Whereas you get the feeling that Ray Bones does.
Oh yeah, because you can see him
enjoyed hitting that woman and breaking her nose.
You sort of see him boasting at the beginning to Chili Palmer, saying, "I'm doing fucking better than you, Chili," and walks off really fucking smugly and steals his wife's coat without thinking of the consequences, thinking he's untouchable.
That is still the maddest thing. This entire film starts from a borrowed coat.
You know,
crazy.
I love it. I love
so
when
good.
shit off just because of one man, a little fucking thing. It's
it's so good, so good.
Yeah. No, back at Zim's office, and obviously he's because he's going to get the script, isn't he? Now he finds Catlets in there, and he's been reading the Lovejoy script, and it is one of the few scenes where they actually do seem to kind of get on a little bit as well. I mean, they have this little conversation there. Catlet wants to try and get in onto it a little bit more, like offer services, like correcting the script a little bit. But it always confused me. Did this bit? Did Chili not want to do it because he feels he could be a dangerous person to have around to get involved with? I don't know.
Yeah. I would say partly that.
Yeah. Plus then again, he is trying to leave the crime business as well, and these guys are still in that business. So who knows? I think he didn't want that either. But Delroy Lindo is very good here. It's very different to the roles he usually plays. He is a bad dude. He's a bad dude, but he likes to think he's not as smart as he thinks he is either.
I really like him. Most films I've seen him in, I really like him. I really liked him, as I said, in Nick Cage's Gone in 60 Seconds.
Yeah, he's always playing these very good authoritative people, and he's not this person here. He's actually kind of a fucking lowlife in a flash suit. obviously, yeah, it's not going to happen. Yeah, so Chili just fucking says, "Fuck off with you. I'm not going to get involved with you. Right, you stick to the deal that we have already, and we'll be fine." And now he's watching Touch of Evil, which was not in the book, but it's a very nice addition because it shows it shows a very sort of more human side to Chili as well, and he's not being this cool, calm, collected gangster trying to put on an image in front of people. He's just being himself. He's wearing his love of movies on his sleeve, and it kind of clinches. It's kind of the clincher for Karen as well, because this is when she really starts to like him and start thinking, you know what? I think this guy's all right. I was a bit funny with him, but I'm starting to come around to him now. Yeah.
I think up to this point, she suspects he's not genuine.
Yeah.
When she sees him in the cinema and sees how much he loves all this, then she's convinced that he is genuine. He means it all.
Exactly that. Yeah.
Because she's used to people who are not genuine. She's used to actors. Yeah. She's used to Harry, who just is all bluff, bluster. So yeah.
And it's touching as well, because he's like a kid. He's not like a grown gangster. He's just like this 10-year-old kid in never caught was getting this joy out of watching this movie he's seen 1,000 times and still has this emotional resonance with him. And it's definitely something we could all relate to here.
Yeah, and it's his real dream. It's his absolute love of it. And as you say, this is really kind of the clincher. This is where we, I think, as an audience as well, see that he isn't a chancer, that he is absolutely genuine, that this means something to him. It on quite a deep level.
I know, and once again, this is where they really start to bond, him and Karen, and it's done visually as well. It's not spelling it out for you. It's letting you it's just letting you absorb the scene every little second, just to sort of like get the information into your head just by looking at it. And
things are allowed to breathe. Even the editing in this film is not as frantic as the events of the film would make you think it would be. Like you think it'd be really snappy because of the kind of film it is, but things are allowed to breathe, and there's some dialogue scenes in here that linger, and it really helps the film a lot, I think.
I know a lot of this helps. A lot does. I mean, the people knew what they were doing, and
it might make the film an hour and 45 minutes rather than an hour and a half, but the benefit for the film is much better. If it was missing, you'd probably say the film was too short.
I think a lot of time and effort and passion's gone into every scene in this movie. Like I said before, I was pointing out little details that they've put in there and little throwaway lines. Blink if you miss it, but like nothing goes to waste. You could watch this film 100 times and find something new each time you watch it.
There's somebody who cares, as I said, whereas with a lot of people these days, it's what message or what of my own opinions or what self-insert can I put into this?
Yeah. And here's a script. Say those words.
I mean, just give us good characters that we can like, and it's I think Tarantino described Jackie Brown as a hangout movie, and yet despite a lot of things going on, it's very chilled out. And you do feel like you're hanging out with these people instead of just going on, instead of just fucking running from one point to the next with these people. You're just letting you getting to know them a little bit more, and it's I just miss good writing like this. I really do. And obviously she's got to fucking help. Yeah, and I like how he's saying, "Well, I'm fed up with the crime life because it means smiling around people, laughing at the stupid jokes." And she's kind of like baffles, like, the movie business is kind of the fucking same. It's like, yeah, but I like movies. It's kind of like the pros for him. It's the only pro he needs to transition to that life. And he does want to genuinely help Harry as well. He does seem to like him, even though he's a bit of a fucking idiot. And then we come back to Yayo. Fucking Yayo as well. He's just full on paranoid. He's been in that airport for God knows how long, looking at all this.
I love this. It's more and more ridiculous.
It's just a kid. It's just a fucking kid who's paranoid about kids. Yeah, and this is where Yayo, we start to see that Yayo is a fucking idiot as well. He's an even bigger idiot. He's real fucking cocky, and he's really he's really over-exaggerating his Latin accent because Elmore Leonard described this like ever since Scarface came out, every Latin started really forcing the Latin accent out even more to sound like Al Pacino.
Yeah.
Yeah, and can sort of say that with Yayo. It's like, hey, what the fuck you want? Huh? What the fuck you want?
And this is the first time you really get to see just what kind of character he actually is.
Yeah,
He
Catler.
pulls out the gun and just shoots the dude. So
Yeah, he's not.
I've had
Yeah,
enough
he's
of your
not.
shit.
Yeah, he wants to be this big time criminal, but he's not smart enough. But that doesn't stop him from being fucking dangerous. I mean,
Yeah.
Yayo's like threatening to fucking grass them up about if he goes to the suitcase. It hopes that he might squeeze some money out of them then, but that's not going to work. This has to fucking kill him.
Well, Yayo
I
knows
love
he's
that.
what's his name's nephew.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
yeah.
I do love his. I do love his
right.
flip over. I love that flip over the balcony.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, this is
Like,
exactly in the book. The bullet, the bullet hit what it was aimed at. The target felt dead. Yeah, it's just one fucking shot, bang, and it gives him an idea. Like, all right, Chili Palmer's gonna fuck with me on this deal. I'm gonna have to try and take him out. So he's already forming a plan, and now we come down to the scene where they go up to Martin Weir's house, and he's like, I can't believe this map is accurate. I bought off a kid for fucking $10. And it's good. It's a good introduction as well, where we meet Martin Weir. In the original book, it was at some restaurant where a band was practicing, but here it's in his house, and we meet this. I don't know who this actress is, but she's fucking killing it as the Nazi sort of grunge rock, punk rock.
Yeah, I didn't recognise her. I'm not actually sure who it was.
But she's pretty though.
Let's dive to IMDb.
Yep, and then we go
Rene Props. She's called Rene.
Her name is the characters, but yeah, she's fucking gorgeous there. I like these Nazis, like rocker chicks.
She was in Weird Science.
Okay.
She must have been really young, like.
Seinfeld, she's been in.
I think she. Yeah, I'm guessing she might have been one of George Costanza's girlfriends. Unfortunate girlfriends.
Yeah, done a lot of television shows.
Yeah. And this is where we meet Martin Weir, and he's fucking hell. He's just so fucking weird around Karen floors. It's cracks me up. He's doing it in front of his bed as well. And we get to know that Nikki actually knew Chili as well back in the past and she was cool with Chili because he wasn't some other arsehole trying to shag her. It's just this cracks me up. It shows just how much of an egomaniac Martin Weir really has become, and it's so fucking funny.
Yeah, it sends up that self-absorbed actor so well.
It does. And he does it well, Danny DeVito. He is still very charming and very likable, but he's also really fucking full of himself and a little pretentious. And
did you see what his reply was to that line that's on the screen there now?
Yeah. You fucked up the relationship by fucking Nicky at my birthday party. He's like, oh, that was a good party.
That's the only thing he can come up with. Doesn't even apologise. He just says how great the party was. How did all this slip away? Oh well,
yeah.
Nicky at my birthday party. Oh yeah, that was a great party. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's obviously there because she wants to help out Harry and Chili. She does not want to be there. It's too awkward. She wants to do this, get it over and fucking done with, because even though they're being separated for many years, he's still fucking weird around her, and she's not liking it. But even Chili Palmer's like very charmed by him as well, and he's not kissing his ass either. He does generally seem to like what he was doing, and he is giving him very honest praises. It never feels like he's lying to him.
It's a charm offensive, but he never lays it on thick. He never comes across as a sycophant. I
know, and yeah, we do get to see that even though Martin Weir's a bit full of himself, he does seem to have a passion for his craft and his acting. And when he's talking about the role he played in Cyclone, he talks about the process that he's doing, and he sounds like an actual actor who really wants to get his part right and really be convincing in the role. And I love that. It's very smart written. Of course, in the book, it's in the original book, like, he had met Chili Palmer in the past, but he didn't remember him. I was when you played that guy in Cyclone. I was one of the guys who who saw you and came by you one time when you was in the role. It was around my old area. But obviously they leave that out, and even though they're there to sell Lovejoy to Martin Weir, they end up talking about the fucking Sherlock movie that Chili Palmer is still trying to develop as they go along. And it does crack me up when right, I want you to look at me the way I'm looking at you. Right, really get into character.
Oh,
and he does this fucking weird
He's
thing.
do the method and everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
It's awkward as well. It's awkward. And she's just like, oh, for fuck's sake, are we really doing this? Are we really doing this?
Literally, yes. Oh, for fuck's sake.
And it just goes to show that even though Martin's gotten bigger as an actor, he's become a little bit more pretentious and a little bit more removed, and he's been living in his own bubble way too long.
Leaves his own height.
Yeah. She's got a nice little place, but she's still managed to stay grounded. And I love that about her character. It's a good example of a character showing strength without, being this fucking girl boss. Just natural female strength that's realistic.
Yeah, I mean, later she becomes the damsel in distress, but she's more exasperated and pissed off about the whole thing rather than scared.
Yeah, he's got a fucking pig toilet.
Really?
I know. Yeah, I know. I mean, and she's a very underrated character. She's not like the greatest female character ever, but she's still very likable.
Not, I'm going to kick in men twice my size and be perfect at everything, and the only thing I ever needed to realise is how perfect I was.
Yeah, passion for the craft. What is this? 1940s Austrian painting competition? Oh, Nix. Oh, Nixie. Always glad to have you on here, man. But and obviously he's trying to help. He really wants to see Martin Weir, see if he can really emulate who he is. Really mimic him or play him. Really get into the role. See if he can. Let's see what he can do if he can play me. And I just love the fucking. I need you, and he actually does give him a lot of context to his character as well.
Yeah, gives him good direction.
He does. He gives him pointers as to how to act the part.
Yeah,
so
he kind of gets it wrong.
You mean nothing to me. I don't care about you. I'm not. There's no passion. There's a deadness in your eyes.
Yeah, no.
Are you sleepy? Do you need?
Yeah, no. like he said, he never kisses his ass. He's actually honest with him. It's like, yeah. Everyone else would kiss his ass, but not Chili.
No.
But he's still being friendly though. He's just being very honest with him about his critique, and he looks even more fucking ridiculous. But he's like, all right,
you need glasses.
Yeah, but he's like, okay, I'll rephrase this as well because I really do want to see if you can do it.
He nails it, doesn't he?
Yeah, and he gets in there, and that's the look.
Look at that.
Yeah, and that's better. He reels it back in. Less is more. Less is more. Yeah, like I said, I think in the book he came off a little bit more egotistical and more insecure, but here he's changed a little bit. He's a little bit more likable and more charming, and I think that's a nice little change here. Now Catler's about to manipulate Harry into fucking setting Chili up for the drop at the airport. He's really trying to twist his mind, everything, saying, I'm guessing he got Martin Weir and he's not letting you on the deal. He's trying to muscle in on the very thing you were trying to get involved in. And they talk a bit more about the fucking airport scam, everything. And a bit more manipulation from Catler and obviously Harry being fucking naive. He just bars it really. It just goes to show just how weak-minded Harry really is.
Yeah, he's an open book, and I love this. I love this because
it comes back as
you
well.
know how pissed off he really is about that Cadillac. He hates it and everything. Oh, sorry, that minivan. But he sells it like he chose it, like he wanted it.
Yeah,
he's got the confidence to do it.
Yeah. And that seems to be the big key of this confidence. He has the confidence to actually try and find Martin Weir and approach him about the script instead of just pissing about with the trainer shrink or the shrink's trainer, like Harry Zinn referred to earlier, he gets to the point. And yeah, just enough confidence you can fucking carry it off. He knows fuck all about the movie industry, but you know what? I could learn. I've got the confidence to sort of get in there with the very people and charm them, and I could learn my way through there and be very successful.
So Nick said again about we're halfway through now. Is the film still holding the attention and everything like that? We have pretty much all of the pieces of the movie now. So every element of the movie, all the characters, from what I remember, are now in place, and now they're going to start slowly moving into their final positions. And yes, because the characters are so strong, you do feel invested.
I know, and this could be, if this was in the hands of any lesser fucking director, this would be very convoluted, because we've already seen films where so much is going on and we're like, oh, this is becoming a bit of a chore to watch. But no, it never feels like a chore.
Really well at the cinema and a film that goes straight to DVD.
Yeah.
That's the difference. This film could really easily be, as you say, in the hands of a lesser director, something that would go straight to 1995 VHS, But on a $30 million budget, it made $115 million.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Not bad at all, is it? And I looked at what that budget would be adjusted these days, and it's $60 million.
Wow.
Now, I can't think of many films that get made now for $60 million.
No.
Which just shows that Hollywood has just gone absolutely insane with budgets.
Yeah, because you see these films that are like really over budgeted, and you're like, this is like fucking, wait, it costs that much? It looks fucking cheaper.
Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane.
Money. The new Mission Impossible movie's gone over again.
Yeah, it's 300 million now, isn't it?
Something crazy, 300 or 400 million, yeah.
Which is, I mean, you'd have to think that Tom Cruise is putting a fair bit of his own fortune on the line for this, because the last one didn't do particularly well. It flopped.
This could bankrupt him if it fucking flops.
I don't think the last one was as good as what you think. The last one wasn't amazing. Fallout. We went from Fallout to Dead Reckoning.
Yeah, Fallout was so good.
Superb.
It's
so good.
I still enjoyed the last one. It had some good moments, but the over exposition we've 1,000 fucking times about AI fucking becoming aware and taking over. It's been done already. We've had
telling what's showing.
Yeah.
I know, and it's that was the one thing that let the movie down a little bit. Apart from that, the action's still fucking fun.
Yeah, I mean, Tom Cruise doing his own stunts, the passion shows through, and when he talks about movies, you can tell he's genuinely passionate about movies, not putting across any political agenda or any of that kind of stuff. He just wants to make films, and that's why he's probably one of the few remaining movie stars. Yeah. But budgets have got to start coming down. It's insane. You will not make money on a film if you spend 200 million on it. You just won't.
And Hollywood really fucking needs to lower their budgets a little bit.
It's bloat. It's committees. It's having all these executive producers. It's having intimacy coordinators. It's having sensitivity writers, and it's not just one of them. It's loads of them.
It's having more talent as well.
That's it. Too many cooks in the kitchen, and I agree, Nick. Fucking Godzilla was nowhere near as big as half these fucking over budget movies, and it still did well. And it's
again,
special effects are fucking amazing. They are.
The difference is the efficiency of the production. Like the guy who directed it also did the cinematography.
Also, what we have is
they probably did not have intimacy coordinators. They probably did not have sensitivity readers. They probably did not have a writing room of 12 people, each making sure that their own little bit was put into it. That's the difference between these films. And also these special effects. There's a 6-minute video on YouTube, which is very good. I think it is by Toho Cinema, that explains how they did the special effects, and it's all like more or less old school stuff. It's CGI being used to enhance, not to create. So and there's a couple of moments where it looks dodgy, but then you have to remember that it costs $12 million. Every episode of The Acolyte costs 2 Godzilla -1s, and when you think of it like that, it's just absolutely insane. So Hollywood has to look at where their budgets are going, and they have to take them down. They have to.
Yeah. But yeah, and yeah, it's fucking travesty. But still, we've got good films like these to fall back on. There.
And this is what I think will happen: is people will just go back to a lot of the old stuff.
Yeah. There's still tons. There's a backlog of like there's 100 years of backlogs of these old movies that most people still have not seen or that are only starting to receive some attention now. I mean, fucking hell, I didn't even know a film called A Boy and His Dog existed until a couple of years back, and that's a fucking good one. That and I found out later it inspired Fallout, the games.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, obviously, Chili's just found out. Has just seen that cat that's sticking his nose in again, and he's not happy. And with fact, this is where we get
James Gandolfini now. I don't know how I missed that.
Yeah, because he's so different in this role, isn't he? It's like
He really is.
He's not this big mean gangster. He's actually just this big friendly, this very
bear.
big.
He's a teddy bear.
Yeah, friendly guy. Just friendly guy who's. We found out later he is just a good guy. Really, he's just there to be the muscle. That's it. His hat's obviously not fucking in it, but he's got nothing else better to do. And he was a former stuntman as well, so he's probably had a lot of fucking hard time finding work for a long time. And now or maybe he still does stuntman, but he does this on the side as well to make some extra money. I don't know. Because I don't know if stunt work pays that well. Inside Man will probably know that a bit better than I do.
It does now.
It does now.
It does now. It does now. Yeah.
That's good.
I mean,
that's one of the things I liked about the film. The Fall Guy gave the stuntmen their moment in the sun that they deserve.
Oh yeah, yeah. I love that fucking film. I don't care if it fucking flopped. I know it had its problems, but it was a fun movie, and there was a lot of fucking heart put into it. And
charismatic leads, romance, adventure. It was great. I really enjoyed it.
Good. I really did.
Suspects, but I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a really good movie. I think it flopped because I don't think people trust the cinemas anymore.
Nope.
I think you're spending so much money to get in the place, and then you've got your sweets and your treats. You like for two people to go in the UK, it's like £40.
So if you don't go and see a film now, it will flop and it will be on streaming in 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, there's that as well.
Yeah, no, they're just fucking throwing it straight onto streaming now, just like that. I mean, Furiosa's coming on digital very soon, and that wasn't even on that long.
Nope.
It's not been that long.
Again, 2-3 weeks, and again, that was not a bad film. But
don't you think that devalues these movies? So it just devalues them so quickly. You know, they you know, it's not like they've even been given the opportunity to make some money back. You know, as soon as they see a slight drop, that's it. You know, streaming.
They're paranoid of the film not making any money for 1 second, so they're actually crippling their own box office takings. Because if they could just have the balls to turn around and go, right, after it's out of the cinema, you ain't getting it for 3 months on streaming. If you want to download that film, if you want to experience that film, you're gonna have to put up with a shitty webcam copy, you know, and then people might go and see the films. But as it is, people are like, oh, it might be all right. But as Fandad says, you know, it'd be 50 quid to take me and the family out, and it'll be on streaming in a month. Worst case scenario, a month. There's plenty.
Obviously, they are going to put it out on physical media because with digital, they can probably manipulate it a little bit more if they need to, can't they? Much more.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I mean, it's just the whole system is just completely bollocks at the moment, and as I say, that's why budgets are going to have to drop, because I don't see the box office takings go up. I don't think we're going to see $1 billion movie this year.
No, I don't. But once again, Chili shows he can be fucking violent when he needs to, but it's done much more humorous as well. Like stuntman, and
that was a beauty.
Just fucking throws him down the stairs.
But even when he does it, he doesn't lose his temper or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? He just,
there's no malice. It's all done without malice.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, malice. There's no malice in Chili at all.
Yeah, and he obviously catches on that Cat looks a guy who's not very fucking tough once his muscle has been fucking disabled, you know, or incapacitated. So, and once again, you can see there's a bitterness to Harry as well, because he finds out that they have gone to see Martin Weir, and he's like, wait a minute, Matt, you showed Martin Weir my script already. You've been here 3 fucking days. I've been in this industry for God knows how long, and I've not gotten any further. You're here 3 days. You've got more further. in his last couple of days than they ever did in the last few decades. And yeah, he's obviously had way too much to fucking drink as well, and he's obviously pissed off. He's bitter.
Well, I think
he's jealous.
the character was trying to get him pissed as well, because
No.
didn't he say like get him a double or something like that? He's trying to
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
manipulate him.
Yeah, and he's weak-minded already, so to get him fucking drunk would really make him an easier target. Yeah, so I know, and he lets him on about the drop in the airport, and already even Karen knows that it's all a setup.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, Jesus Christ, how the fuck did you not go further in Hollywood? You're way too fucking smart to be playing all these stupid bimbos, getting killed by these grotesque monsters. It's yeah, but obviously Chili's gonna find out what happens. Even when he hands Chili the key, he can't even put it in his hand properly.
One-upmanship.
Yeah.
Drops it.
Dick waving.
Yeah. And this we get a little bit more of this scene with Murray's ex-wife, and it's probably just trying to fill a little bit more in his relationship with the writer as well. And he probably did have some affection for the guy, because Murray Shafrin was the only writer who only ever got jobs with Harry Zinn. So there probably was this past with him as well. And obviously his wife's a bit of a fucking horny bitch as well, because she's coming on to him now as well. And yeah.
Apparently she has a nice necklace.
Yeah, nice necklace, Dorothy. Yeah.
She was uncredited, wasn't she?
She was uncredited, yeah, and I think she was supposed to be in this one scene, but Gene Hackman loved her so much, she was like, "Can we get her in for another scene? Come on, just one."
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously because Chili has mentioned fucking Ray Bones about the laundry money as well. He's told him, whatever you do, right, the laundry money, forget about that, all right, because you'll have Ray Bones on your ass as well. He's like, "Who's Ray Bones?" He's like, "Oh, he's the guy who owns me since Momo died." And he's like, "Momo, where'd you get these fucking names?"
I've only just noticed he's reading Martin Weir's book.
Yeah, he shows up on a lot, doesn't he? He shows up in a lot. It's like,
quite a lot.
Yeah.
Why is the Mona Lisa in his toilet?
Yeah, I don't get
It's
that
the whole thing with the
Just realised what
the pretentiousness of Ray Bones. Like, again, we've not been told this about his character. We can infer it. Look at his boxer shorts.
Yeah,
He's not a serious man's. He's all bravado.
Yeah.
There's no substance to him.
Yeah, he spends his money on
He's
out
fake.
on these much more flamboyant clothes, while Chili Palmer's like a bit more like he wears these darker clothes, doesn't he? He wears the black suit.
That's not what a serious gangster would wear.
Yeah.
I've just realised something. The Mona Lisa is in the Louvre. I'll be here all week, folks.
Yeah.
I mean,
It cracks me up as well because he's trying to have a shit peacefully, and the phone's going off, and he doesn't even. He's so anxious to get to the phone. He doesn't even wipe his ass. It's like, fuck. And it does make the guy funny as well. There's Farina that fucking plays it well. He's very intimidating, but he still manages to be very funny at the same time.
This is great because Harry here tries to pull the bravado.
Yeah.
That he learned earlier.
Yeah.
He shits it.
Just doesn't.
I know. He really gets fucking up. He really gets full of himself here, and like you said, it goes fucking wrong. Because Chili has a fucking way of doing it. He's got the right confidence to pull it off. He knows what he's doing. Harry doesn't.
Yeah, I'm the one who's telling you how it is, dipshit.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm the dipshit.
Yeah, who's never been out of Miami. So now Chili Palmer's gone to the airport. He knows.
Why does he write down that flight number?
Yeah, I was going to
ask. I think it's because it has a lot. Does the 83 mean 83 passengers, which means there's a big crowd coming from that direction, so it's a good place to use as cover. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. As I said, he's always 2 moves ahead the entire film.
I know, and he's obviously been there for a while because now he gets a new bag. He comes to his kid to put the bag in a locker right next to it. Gives him money and just pass me the key because I'm giving it to my wife. I want it to be a surprise. And once again, we see Martin Weir just being pushed into everything.
I really hadn't noticed up until now, but yeah.
But it's a nice fun. It's just a funny returning joke where everyone's reading a book about Martin Way because he's like the flavour of the month for some reason, even though you can see he's a talented actor. You can see he's serious about his craft, but he's pushed in way too many things, and that's kind of a real thing. We've seen that a lot with actors for a while. And now he knows the flight's coming in. He sees the FBI agents, and yeah, and I recognise this guy as well. He's been in fucking Laws. He's been in The Purge, Anarchy. He's always played these villains, these very sinister-looking villains, with these deep voices.
It's Kevin Bacon's cousin, isn't it?
When I first saw it, I thought it was Kevin Bacon for a second.
Yeah, he looks like an evil Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now he goes. And I love this though. He goes right up to C18, waits for the fucking crowd to pass, and goes to C17, switches over, and gets the luggage. And he knows he's going to get caught. And while this is happening, fucking Raybos is introduced to this guy who spells his fucking name wrong. He's annoyingly fucking chirpy, and Raybos is just like shut the fuck up. He is. And I missed the shot where Pablo Escobar comes in. Yeah, Pablo Escobar and his bodyguard. Because Yayo's not been showing up with the money and he's fucking pissed off about it. And I like the story he gives here as well. It is very convincing. Like, he's here to meet an ex-wife he's trying to get back together with. But, yeah, it looks like she changed her mind. And we do get a bit more into his backstory in the book about his ex-wife. But thankfully they left that out because it would have just caused more exposition. And yeah, the fucking tour guide, he's just trying to do his job as well, but he's just fucking it up. He's just bad tempered. He wants to get the fuck back to Miami. He's not happy to be there. Now we meet him in the car park with Bear, and Bear's like, well, you didn't. Well,
charm offensive
I'll
on
give
Bear.
It back. Yeah, he's like, are you fucking kidding? You tried to set me up, and you want the key back? No, fuck off. Yeah, and I love how he just fucking takes him down. It's just like quick as well. He doesn't go full aggressive. He just packs enough power he knows where to hit him, take him down,
wind him. Yeah, but again, as soon as he goes down, he's checking them. He's like, dude,
I know.
Charm offensive on the thing. Talks about his movies. Bang! So he's on his side.
I know, because
it's like in the film, I knew exactly what was going on. You know exactly. The scene I'm talking about. You know exactly what's going on because of the kind of character that he is.
Yeah, I know, and you see, because once again, I'm gonna post a link to Lance right now. I think he's gonna make a little appearance. Give me a minute, lad. I'll get you on.
More British representation. We haven't got enough.
Yeah, but Lance loves this movie as well. He did the stream as well with the Martin Weir Napoleon, so I will get that on.
Awesome. Must check it out.
Yeah, phone's fucking taking its time. Oh, these phones can be very unresponsive sometimes. It's a pain in the ass.
Another accent.
Put it in the bin.
Okay. So yeah, he does have because he's once again he sees him as this other heavy as well, just doing his job but not totally into it like he was, or the guy who was with Ray Bones as well.
But I like the way when he talks to him, he says, you're a fucking stuntman. What have these guys done? You've been in movies. And again, it kind of reinforces that absolute love, that passion that he's got for movies.
60 of them.
Yeah, I know. I don't. It's they just have this fucking conversation because that's what leads the Bear to want to fucking leave because.
They just find that connection, though, don't they?
As I say, it's movies again.
Yeah, 100%.
It's like, you won't have seen any of the movies I'm in. He's like, try me. And he's like, full well that he bloody has as well.
Yeah.
He'll be like, man, I love you in that bit.
Again, it's
He's
definitely...
not flagging it or anything. He'll be talk about an exact scene. And they'll be like, oh, man, the way you did that role or whatever was really good.
But isn't that Quentin Tarantino though? That's Quentin Tarantino. You watch any interview with Quentin Tarantino, the kind of level of detail for these obscure, tiny little movies, it's exactly the kind of thing that Chili Palmer is talking about. It's precisely that.
I know. Yeah, I know, and it makes you like this character even more. You just love how he's because he wins over even wins over the guys who are supposed to be his enemy. That's how fucking awesome he is.
Yeah.
Unlike Harry Zim, who's just fucking things up even more. Even more. He's got red bones on his ass.
He tries to play it, and it
Doesn't
I know, 'cause
work.
he's so desperate.
It
He's so
really
desperate
doesn't
to
work.
get money invested that he'll even hire. He'll even get some arsehole involved that has no passion for it whatsoever and will cause him more trouble. And he thinks, oh yeah, if I do it like Chili Palmer does, I might be able to not have him be pissed off at me and actually cooperate. But no, it's Barbone's not fucking taking it. He just wants the fucking money. That's it. That's all he cares about. He doesn't like being taken for a fucking joke. He doesn't like having his time wasted whatsoever. And then we come to Catlet as well. He's finding out that Chili Palmer didn't fall for it, and now fucking Pablo Escobar is here and finding out where Yayo is.
was there
No,
any
Yayo was his
swaps
fucking
in the
nephew.
book?
Sorry.
Well, are there any race swaps from the book to the film?
No, I think Catlet was sort of like he was black, but there was a little bit of like some kind of Puerto Rican or Cuban mixed in, but he was still black in the book.
Okay, not that it matters for 1 second. I was
Yeah.
literally just curious as to whether there'd be a difference in the characters. But
Yeah, there is actually a very funny line where Harry Zim thinks he's Latin, even though he shows up and he's black as fuck. Yeah, and even Chili Palmer's like, you do realise Catlet was the guy in charge, and why the fuck did you start thinking he was Latin or Asian or something? He's black. He's black. How did you not see that?
What a numbskull.
that's the thing. I mean, like, there's this scene in here where Catler's talking about Morgan Freeman. He's saying, "Oh, we could get Morgan Freeman," and then Chili's like, "Oh, is a coloured dude," and Catler's just like, "Yeah, well, why can't it?" There's nothing saying it has to be a white dude, and that's all it's said.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing else said. Now imagine that scene made today.
Yeah, I know. Because I know a couple of times, because I mean, in Jackie Brown, she was a white woman called Jackie Beck, but they changed it to Jackie Brown and had Pam Grier play her instead.
Wasn't it
shit, I
Jackie
didn't know
Smith?
that.
Wasn't it Jackie Smith?
No, Jackie Beck. I think the original character's name was in the book.
I'm sure it was Jackie Smith in Run Punch.
Yeah, but it was a different last name, and
Yeah,
obviously
she's blonde, isn't she?
I think so. Was she blonde or was she brunette? I can't remember now.
See, that's really weird because I can't imagine that working with Jackie being white. I really can't.
No.
Yeah,
I
obviously.
I think that would destroy the entire film.
Yeah. Well, it depends on the director. When Tarantino took over, obviously he wanted to do a little callback to the old blaxploitations. And
Exactly. The blaxploitation sort of 70s type thing, very much so.
Yeah, I'm going to try and do that one day. I love Jackie Brown. I think it's very
nice.
nice.
Oh, yeah, it's one of my favorites.
It seems to be getting more love these days than it used to.
Yeah.
Did you get the links sorted out?
I've sent it to Lance right now, but I'm not seeing him pop up yet. Don't know. But it'll pop up when he pops up, hopefully. Yeah, and he finds out Yayo is his fucking nephew here as well, and he just killed the boss's fucking nephew. But even his boss doesn't like Yayo as well. He's like, we do him as a job as a favour to my cousin. He's not too bright. I think he's retired as well. And
Is he Italian?
Yeah.
Hey,
mamma. I did it as a favor for my sister. Bada bing, bada boom.
Mama used to make.
Yeah, Italian Latin. This makes me laugh as well. The fact that it's just cramped between these two fucking guys as well. He's obviously it's deliberate as well, just to make him feel uneasy and a little bit.
Yeah, it's so funny.
It's the way it's shot as well. Just the way the lens they're using on this as well. It's kind of curves up the fucking curves up by the corners.
Wide angle.
Yeah, the wide angle, that's it.
Oh, thanks to Don Peterman, the cinematographer.
Yeah, fucking great shot. He's trying to lie his way out of it, and obviously he's not fucking falling for it, but he's like, you get me that fucking money, otherwise you're dead. And he forgets to mention Yayo as well until one of his men mentions it. So he obviously cares more about the money than his fucking cousin's son, which always makes me laugh. And yeah, obviously we now see that Catler is really fucking desperate now. He's in a very desperate situation. He's got Ronnie trying to get to the bank. They've got fuck all. So what they'll do, try and go to Harry Zim to see if they can squeeze some money out of him and hopefully save his ass. Which is not going to go right for Ronnie because Ray Bones is there now and Harry Zim is not fucking putting his man to ease. He is not fucking making him happier to be there. And this is the big mistake as well. Harry just goes, "Look at me."
What did you say?
It triggers him as well. It triggers him. It's like, what?
Why don't you take a look at this?
Yeah, fucking whacks him. It's violent as well. It's very violent. I mean, he really fucks him up here.
Mm.
And once again, we're seeing that Ray Bones is still not a man to be messed with, even though he's a bit of a fucking tit.
How did Harry get fractured hands?
Yeah, I know. That's one thing that
mentioned it in the hospital.
A little bit here. And now Ronnie's coming here. He starts giving it the fucking big one. And out of these two, Ray Bones ends up being the more formidable fucking bad guy here. Because he ends up being smart. He ends up looking. Despite his idiotic manner, he's still more a convincing gangster than Ronnie's trying to be.
Yeah.
I know he's got the fucking gun stuck way down into his jeans to the point that it's going to be difficult for him to pull out very quickly. And obviously Ray Bones knows what kind of a joke this guy is. He's a fucking poser. He's not a real threat.
Yeah, I mean, even though Ray is, all bluster and a lot of front and stuff like that, you know full well that he's killed people to get to where he is and stuff like that. He's ruthless. He is ruthless.
He doesn't mess about, does he? Even if he has got the fiat of guns.
He's more fucking dangerous than fucking Ronnie is. Ronnie's just been out but a fucking loudmouth with a fucking gun trying to show off everyone what kind of a guy he is. But Ray Bones sees through that straight away. And he takes him down. He just fucking shoots him. And then he decides to frame Harry for it as well.
Gets Harry to shoot him in the foot.
Yeah. Shot him in the chest and one in the foot.
Poor Ronnie.
Yeah. I was about to fucking shoot him in the dick there as well.
I was going to say.
Yeah. Ray Bones don't get pissed off. It's like, nah, stop messing about. Let's not do this shit, all right? And it always cracks me up. Once again, the pull needs skimming again. And I like the fact that even it's a nice little moment as well. It takes a nice little break from the craziness, just let these characters breathe a little bit. Let them let them be themselves. And it's very romantic as well. They've got the silhouette with that lovely sunset, and I always love those kind of shots. And now we see that, it's this whole little journey that Chili has been on is really helping him with his movie because he sees he's got Karen in a character based on Karen in there as well to help add a love story, and it kind of reflects as well the chemistry they're building towards each other. And she even starts to say like he could be an actor as well, and he's like, I'm thinking about it, but I don't think I could ever be a big character actor, but. And then that's when they get the call that Harry Zim is now in hospital and his jaw's all fucked up and everything. And this sort of thing does help his career as well. It's like they think he's killed this guy in self-defense, and it raises his profile.
Yeah, it makes him to a bit of a badass, doesn't it?
I know. And he can't tell anyone about it because his jaw's all fucked up. Love how a movie just starts its third act strong. Let's both breathe and rolling all out towards a conclusion and or closure.
Yep. Yeah, everything's moving into its final places now.
Yeah, all the pieces are now starting to come together a little bit more. And I did miss one shot though, where you see a doctor who's wiring his jaw, and it's the same guy that had the woman who was giving birth to the squid in Men in Black as well.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
So he presumably knows Sonnenfeld then?
Yeah, he probably is a good actor friend of his. Yeah, this is where Bear tells him that he wants to fucking quit now. He's fed up of it all, and Catlet's not very happy about it as well because now he's got these fucking drug dealers who are about to kill him if they don't deliver the movie, and he's like, yeah, well, you fucking killed their nephew. You've done this, and I told you not to. And Catlet's not going to take this. He's not taking it very well, so he starts to use his fucking daughter against him. If you don't cooperate with me, I'm going to make if I go down for this, I will make sure you go down, and your daughter will pay for it.
And you get a feeling at this point he hasn't done the sabotage that we find out about, on the rail, but that might be what pushes him over.
Yeah. So he obviously did it in advance as well, sometime later, because he obviously got the idea that even if he did do what Catlet did, Catlet would probably end up fucking disposing of him as a loose end, because Catlet's starting to lose his grip. He really is. He's becoming more desperate. He's fucking just killed a guy that's got these fucking drug dealers on his ass, and yeah, he's starting to show that he can be a bit more dangerous as well when he needs to. So things are really getting out of hand for Catlet now, and Bear wants to get the fuck out while he can. Yeah, so now obviously they're meeting up with Martin Weir again because he's charmed the fuck out of everyone, and everyone's just praising Harry as well. They're like, "Hey, you fucking go, man!"
And then you see he turns up.
I love it. Yeah, I love that laugh. Says, "You should have shot someone a while ago. It would have made you famous then." And Harry has this really pathetic, sad laugh where it just hurts to open his mouth to do it. It cracks me up every fucking time. Yeah, once again, Martin Weir's showing his star power. He's got this fucking confidence, this charisma. He's very charming. And once again, he's doing the stupid actor thing where he's starting to add all this to the fucking script now. Harry's thinks this is about Lovejoy, but no. Martin's more is more excited about the whole Shylock and the laundry airport scam plot now. And Harry's just sat there wondering, what the fuck's going on here? What? And you can tell the life is just leaving his eyes a little bit as well as Martin keeps going on about this. Now, inside man, I don't know if this is actually true, but do these movie stars actually go to these restaurants and order right off the fucking menu? And they get it anyway?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think
pretty much, yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if they have favourites that they go out there and get them to make specially. Like when fucking Taylor Swift goes and flies to get a cheesecake or whatever. They're just on a different planet. It's that simple.
Yeah, is fucking Lance showing up here? Because I'm not seeing him. He should be on here.
There's no sign of him as of yet.
Sent him the link a while ago. I don't know, maybe he got a bit busy. Hopefully, if he has, then no problem.
Yeah, I mean, he is. To be fair, he's always pretty busy, isn't he?
I know he's getting because he's getting more traction on his channel now. He's getting more people who want to do interviews with him, and yeah, I am fucking happy for him. I really am.
Yeah. I must admit, I can't wait to do the Charles Band one. That's just absolute mammoth. I cannot wait.
Yeah, no, I'll fucking check that out. I will check that out. And yeah, like you said, a lot of these movie stars do order off the menu. I mean, this is true in the book as well, and they even went in great detail about when Martin does the stupid thing like most actors do when he's given the script, he can't leave it alone. He has to add his ideas into there, even though they don't match the fucking story, and he orders up and he never fucking eats it. He just
doesn't touch
everyone else.
He literally turns up. He goes, "I've got to go."
I know. It's just like, and they never pick up the tab either. He doesn't pick up the tab. Because they don't know how much anything fucking costs. It's like they don't. Yeah.
Well, I would imagine most actors expect to be wined and dined.
I know they have people. A lot of them don't know how to drive because they have people driving for them all the fucking time, and yeah, they might be the smarter ones because they aren't getting done for DUIs compared to most celebrities these days. Was it Justin Timberlake that's been done for it at the moment?
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Yeah. Should have taken an Uber.
Yeah.
I can afford it.
I know.
Where's
Oh, it's
his
gotta be
chauffeur?
to end
You
the
know what I
limo,
mean?
you know.
Yeah, where's the chauffeur?
Yeah. Like how he does the look at me as well with Harry's and he just looks confused. Once again, he's been weird against Karen Flores. He's like, there's a part of him that's trying to win her back a little bit, and yeah, she doesn't
over
want to
that
get more
bullshit.
involved. But
She's all into Chili.
Yeah. I like how he tries to kiss her as well. And she just moves her face as well to avoid him hitting her lips.
I think that happens again later as well, actually.
Yeah. And that actually looks delicious, that does. That looks like a very nice omelette. Yeah, and he can't even enjoy the strawberry frappe properly because of his choice.
You do feel sorry for Harry. I mean, it's all of his own making.
I know.
You feel sorry for him.
Yeah, I think that's what makes him funny as well. He's the loser, isn't he? But he's a nice guy. He just happens to be a bit of a fucking idiot.
But I think this is probably the least cool character that Gene Hackman has ever played.
It is.
He's absolutely against type.
I know.
And he absolutely nailed it.
I think he was good enough for the part because it was a very comedic role, and there was like, no, this is why we want you in this role because you're going to play it dead straight. And he pulls it off. He's so fucking underrated in it.
Brilliant.
He really is. Once again, we get a little. Now we come back to what's basically a little callback from the beginning where they're in the bed together. She's on the other side of the bed as well. I've noticed that. She's on the other side of the bed. And this time she's actually happy to have him in bed with her. You know, they actually do seem to like each other. And unlike Harry Zim, Chili Palmer actually is willing to confront what is happening. He's not making excuses.
Sounds like Rio Bravo.
Yeah, Rio Bravo. I watched that a couple of days ago. That is a fucking great film. And that's another film as well where the characters are mostly just hanging out and you just can't help but enjoy spending time with these people. Yeah, really fucking brilliant wrestling. And obviously Catler has been... because he's learned about how Chili Palmer first met Harry, so he's pulling the same shit now, isn't he? And obviously Chili Palmer's just thinking, are you really this fucking stupid? I cannot believe you're doing this shit. You are a fucking idiot. You are beyond a fucking joke. And it is looking like Catler will shoot him, but now Karen's past as a scream queen is paid off because it saves his life. But now she's like the damsel in distress, and now Catler has leverage over him now. Okay, I'll pay you the fucking money I owe Ray Bones now if you don't kill Karen. And and to make things
care. She's so nonplussed.
She's just like, what the fuck's going on?
And to make things worse, she's trapped in this toilet, having to wear there's a bucket mountain wheel once again, and a pink toilet. It just makes me. It's just funny. It's funny. Yeah, even Bear's like, what the fuck are you doing? This is even more out of hand. It was bad enough killing Yayo. Now you're kidnapping? What the hell? And that line, the guy's got a fucking pink toilet. And obviously Bob Catlett gets the money, and it's not enough as well. He's gonna kill fucking Chili Palmer, make it look like he came in and started some shit, and he did it in self-defense, and because he's basically been trying to get him out of the picture for a while, and this is his one chance now. But thankfully the bear has been a couple of steps ahead. He's pretending to be on his side now. He's beating him up, and the rail's definitely been loosened now because as they fall, he fucking catches him, and you don't know what's happening yet. She has no idea what's happening. She tries to kill Bear. Thankfully, she fucking misses.
And Chili shouts, Karen, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. It's one of. I did miss it a couple of times when I was watching it on video for the first time, but now I catch it. Now I do notice James Gandolfini catching him.
Yeah.
But now they're done with Catlett now. He's just fucking gone. Ronnie's gone now. Thank fuck. And I love this bit as well. It's like, wait, aren't you scared? Well, I was scared then, but how long do you want me to be scared? I love that. He just gets on with it. It's all fucking done and dusted with now. Except Ray Bones fucking popped up. unexpectedly. He's a and now because he knows everything about the fucking setup and now the setup, everything, and as soon as he pulls that key out, he thinks he just assumes straight away that the money that's being watched by the feds is the money that Leo ripped off.
Yeah, but Chili knew this was all going to happen. He knew he was 2 moves ahead the whole time.
Yeah, so now because he sees this as an advantage now, doesn't he? He's not going to tell him because he can finally get fucking Ray Bones out of his fucking head. It's been like a thorn in his side for way too long. And yeah, if he hadn't, and obviously, if he had paid Ray Bones this money back, he probably would never have gotten out of that life even more, because Ray Bones does not seem like the type of guy who likes it when people fucking walk out on their business. I would not be surprised about that. But yeah, Ray Bones, yeah, there is a fakeness to Ray Bones as well. He pretends to come off sincere, but you know there's nothing genuine about him, though. Yeah, this bit makes me fun. This bit makes me laugh as well. Like he could just walk to the fucking door right now, but he has to fucking stand there and order the driver to position for him.
Such a dick.
Such a dick. I just love Des Farina in it. He does it so well. He really does. And yeah, it's all this setup as well. It's
It really does look like Kevin Bacon. That's his brother, Crispy Bacon.
Yeah.
Thought I was bad.
This scene is like a shitload of Chekhov's guns all in one setting.
Look, it's on the fucking magazine.
Yeah. Man wearing it. Yeah. Every one of these characters are like Chekhov's gun all in once because it's leading to this fucking payoff right now.
Yep.
This is the best line in the movie.
Yeah, it's a good little fake out as well. Yeah, because you see how now it's switched over to the movie within the movie.
That's a fucking beaut. Fuck you, fuckball.
Yeah. Once again, it's been a payoff as well. You've seen that all the events has developed into Chili Palmer's movie, and it's led to this conclusion now. And it doesn't go smoothly as well. Things are going fucking wrong, and it makes it funnier. Martin Weir doesn't know how to fucking handle a fake gun.
The magazine drops out of the gun, doesn't it? Fuck's sake. I love what Bette Midler says in about a minute. Oh, there's Laverne and Shirley. What they call her?
Yeah, I think Penny Marshall.
Penny Marshall. Yeah.
Yeah, who directed A League of Their Own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fucking yeah, and recently passed away as well. You know, God bless her. God bless her.
Oh shit! No. She was in. No. I used to watch Laverne and Shirley when I was a kid with Cindy. Was it Cindy Williams or something? It's like a sitcom.
Happy Days spin-off, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, well, apparently this is another uncredited role as well, just like Bette Midler, and they do take advantage of it as well. I mean, the casting is fucking great. It's a great cast. I mean, it's got actors that weren't even that big as well, but you knew they had something about them. That James Gandolfini, everything. It's they really made the casting work to their advantage here. Even Harvey Keitel as himself in a little throwaway role, and it's very funny. Yeah, and it turns out, and he may not have directed Lovejoy, but he gets to direct another movie where that might be his big hit.
Yeah, she says this is only the second day, and we're already 2 weeks behind.
Yeah. Yeah, but it does look like he's coming across as a competent director who's in over his head a little bit, but he's still managing to do a decent job trying to hold it together. And yeah, I like that, because even though I've seen Harry be a bit of a clown, he still seems to. We still need to see him be a good director, because there was one scene earlier that was deleted that had Ben Stiller on as well, and it was a really nice little scene that showed that he is still a very good director, but because the scene just held up the film, they let it go. And we do see like Bears in the background as well, and he actually gets his job back helping out around the movies. I don't know if it's stuntmen, but he still manages to be some kind of use. He's not working
stunt coordinator or something like that.
Yeah, and he's not working with fucking gangsters or fake gangsters or anything. He's actually gone back to a bit more of an honest working again with some people who genuinely like him as well.
The people you like get the good ending. The bad guys get
Yeah.
shuffled off. It's all good.
Yeah, they got the film, but it's not going too smoothly as well. There's still coming problems, but you still know they're going to be okay. It's still going to go well. And yeah, you got this guy saying, Martin loved it. It's like, listen, we don't think he's right for the part. He's too fucking short.
That's actually Chili Palmer's final line is in the book, isn't it?
Yeah,
I
it
think,
is.
Yeah, I think he turns around and says, you can't play me. You can't, or he calls the character Randy, doesn't he? He says, you can't play me, Randy. He says,
Yeah,
why?
because it was in a
Why
meeting.
was it?
Yeah, it was in a meeting, wasn't it? With
Yeah,
a
and he
woman
says-
called Eileen, but she's not in this movie, sadly. And
Yeah.
she's a shame because she does manage to be a very prominent character in the Be Cool book, but she's left out of that as well. She's left out of that, and it's very sad because she was a cool character, and I would love to have seen her in Be Cool as a proper full-on romantic romance for Chile on that one. But yeah, it's different to the book. It's in a meeting. And he says, "No, it's too short." That's when it ends. This is a bit different. They're saying it during the movie, and they're thinking of recasting him. And I would like to see just one more little movie, just to have the characters say, have a little farewell. But now it ends, and apart from ending a little bit abrupt, it's still a great film.
Yeah, terrific film. But yeah, it's again, it didn't do bad at the box office, as you were saying.
Yeah, it got praised.
Pretty
Over
good.
tripled its budget.
Yeah.
Budget 30 million, 115 million box office.
It's pretty good. But it's kind of been lost in the shuffle, isn't it, over the last few years? I'd say certainly the last couple of decades. It's sort of been lost a little bit because there's been, the volume of stuff that's coming out. It's on, this kind of scattergun release that studios have now. That it's difficult to kind of keep up with absolutely everything. And then, of course, all the things that you do remember, a lot of the things that you do remember kind of get pushed aside where you're trying to watch as much as you possibly can, but we obviously can't. And this is why I'm always going back to older movies. I mean, I can't, there is absolutely nothing on TV or at the cinema that really holds any kind of appeal for me whatsoever. Nothing at all. So I have to keep looking back because as Luke was saying, that there's so much there. There's so much in the past that, we can't conceivably catch up with. We can't watch everything, but we can try and watch as much as possible. And I don't care whether it's, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years old. I'm not fussed about the age of a movie, providing it's a good movie.
Yeah, some people get off about these old movies as well. It's like, no, don't be a fucking dick. Watch these old movies. Yeah. It's not the age.
It's wander down to CEX.
Yeah, it's not the age. It's not heart and passion that's been put into making these movies.
Because I think a lot of them don't end up on streaming. That's the problem. Unfortunately, though a lot of these films pass people by, access to them, if you don't know it exists in advance, then you won't necessarily come across it.
Yeah, but it has become a very disposable medium now, isn't it? Film. It's
absolutely,
it's
absolutely disposable. Absolutely.
I mean, shockingly so.
The thing that I find about movie making nowadays, I think there's a lot less passion, and it's a craft. If you go back and look at films from the 50s and 60s and 70s, etc., and you see how much work goes into them, even with the likes of what we've just seen, Get Shorty, the amount of detail and passion and the people involved that have come from, inside man, you'll know yourself, people start out as runners or boom operators or clapper loaders or camera assistants, and they work their way up through the ranks because they love film, they love cinema, they love creating stories, and every frame has had passion put into it. And nowadays you get the likes of your Nia DaCostas and Charmaine Chinhead or whatever she's called coming along with absolutely no good intentions, no experience,
no integrity.
No integrity at all.
It's kind of it's more of a what's in it for me
Yeah.
sort of attitude than
Yes,
anything else.
it's a way to soapbox.
Yeah. Yeah, what's in it for me, and how can I get my
Wow.
message over? You know,
I know there's no humility as well. Like they can't handle a bit of criticism, and these
you're
are genuine
absolutely right.
criticisms as well. But
Yeah,
they always
yeah.
resort to they're being racist, they're being
But because of
sexist.
who's being
Yeah.
cast, they can fall back on that. And I think that's part of the reason why people get cast, why certain people get picked, because they have that defense in advance. It's not
Yeah.
the fact that you just can't write for shit. It's that everybody's racist. Even though you go and look at other projects that have a similar makeup and they're absolutely fine. Nobody said that was, or anything like that. But like Nick says, a lot of these are hard to find and they're not in streaming services because obviously streaming services get what they get. As I say, walk down to CEX, or if you've got the equivalent in America, a used DVD place. DVDs are worth nothing now. You can pick them up for 50p or £1. Just take a chance.
Yeah.
If it's shit, use it as a coaster.
It's so fucking cheap.
Take a chance on an old movie. Go for
Sasquatch.
anything made before 2010, and
Yeah.
Sorry to see you there, Cannoli Sasquatch. I hope you're still watching, and thanks for joining us. But yeah, physical media, it's much easier to get these films now. You barely break the bank now. You can get shit loads, can't you? I mean, fucking hell.
Yeah.
I still go down there CX with the wife and get a few DVDs, even though I don't really fucking need them. But
no, as I say, they're literally, obviously Blu-rays and the bigger movies are still fairly expensive, but a lot of the old shit, because you get nothing for selling it, and
charity shops.
They're sold for 50p. You literally, there's racks and racks and racks of movies. Just go check something out. Have a look at the back of the CD. It's what it's there for. Maybe it's got an actor in it you've heard of and you've not heard of the film. Check it out. What you do?
I mean, I'm all for physical media. I mean, I do like to, to own a piece of physical media, because particularly DVD. And here's why. When some movies have been released subsequently on Blu-ray and go to streaming services, the DVD versions will be the last time you will actually see the original version of that movie, because of the amount of cuts that now we're having. I mean, there are loads of bits and pieces that were cut out of the Dirty Dozen release for Blu-ray and for streaming. So, we don't have that version anymore. So if you're going to get a copy of the Dirty Dozen, make sure it's the DVD version and nothing else. That's why I tend to go for DVD now. Not into this 4K malarkey, because you can only improve. You put it this way: when they're upgrading something to 4K, the picture that you're actually seeing is not the picture that was shot.
No,
it's not even an improved version of the picture that was shot. It's a
all been messed about
recreated
with AI, hasn't it?
It's a recreated version of the picture that was shot. Because if you're shooting on 35mm and you have a brand new pristine print of that 35mm, you cannot improve on that brand new pristine print of 35mm. You can't make 35mm better than 35mm. You can blow it up, but in essence it's still a 35mm picture. You can do all kind, you can adjust the contrast and the hue and tones and all that kind of stuff, but you can't improve on the picture. There's nothing you can do to improve on that picture. You are just recreating it.
Christ, it sounds to me like Nick needs to arrange some kind of revolution in his country. Fucking hell.
Yeah, I thought about that because I've seen some like really fucking high def pictures, and they always look a little bit more like they've been smoothened out way too much. It's very distracting.
There's AI used to remove grain and stuff like that. And I saw the value in Blu-ray over DVD. I did see the value in that. So although obviously, as you say, Blu-ray being the prevalent media, does tend to get pissed about with it and cut and stuff like that. My copy of the Aliens films on Blu-ray are my preferred versions. Because
they're great.
Yeah, they still look fucking good. Terminator, the first Terminator film looks good on Blu-ray. Terminator 2 on Blu-ray.
I figure warnings and messing about with the film and cutting bit of it, and they get to decide what's problematic and shit like that. I'm just like, oh, fuck off.
I know it's bad.
Look at all for physical media.
The French Connection. They cut out a lot of the scenes where Popeye's saying the N-word, and it's like, no, you can't. You're taking away context from that character.
Yeah.
He's an old school kind of sort of semi-racist cop. That's his character. You can't just rob that of that film. You're destroying art. Art
Just
needs to be a little bit ugly.
Stop judging and rating the past by the standards of the present. Just fucking stop it.
They're scared in case some white people get offended on behalf of black people.
Yeah, I don't understand this kind of offense by proxy. I don't get it.
It's all virtue signaling. It's all virtue signaling.
I want to be offended on your behalf.
I will be your white savior. I will be offended on your behalf.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I came across one fucking channel where a woman was talking about Ian Fleming's Live and Let Die, and she had all these fucking rainbow flags, and as soon as I saw it, I thought, yeah, she's going to be saying a lot of shit about it being problematic with the stereotypes, and even the comment section was like a hotbed of like, oh my god, this is so fucking racist, everything, and it's like, I didn't even comment. I just fucking pressed, I'm not interested in this channel. I don't want it popping up on my feed because I know what these people want. They want more attention, more clicks, and I don't want to be part of it.
Bond is fucked. Bond is fucked. Absolutely. Yeah. Bond cannot exist in the current movie ecosystem. Which can't. That character cannot exist. They'd have to make him gay or something to make everybody happy. In which case he's no longer James Bond. So it's sad. We need to wait 10 years. Watch all the old shit for 10 years.
Yeah, we can't have fucking strong white males anymore. It's like, listen, we don't care about skin colour. We just want a good male character or good female character that's well written. It can be. Like,
and this is the basis because they're the ones that are preoccupied with the skin color, whereas we just don't care. We just want a good character.
That's right. And
most of the streamers most of the people that we stream with, who are black or different ethnicities or different sexualities, they don't care about that shit either. They just want good stuff like we do.
The thing is, anybody can be a wanker. Anybody can be a cunt. White, yellow, brown, black, whatever.
Exactly.
That is not defined by skin color. So it's not. It's just not a factor. It's like when people turn around and like when Star Trek Discovery came out. Obviously, Star Trek Discovery is a fetid piece of shit. Feelings and hallways, completely oh my god, it's the antithesis of Gene Roddenberry's Vision. And it's just complete shit. And people are like, "Oh, you're just better than fucking cake." Everyone loved Ben Sisko. Dude was black. Like, you're just sexist. It's like, well, Janeway people didn't have a problem with her.
Yeah, because he was played by a very good actor who knew what he was doing, and he hates all this political correctness crap.
What?
He's one.
Mental.
I love it.
Fucking amazing. Yeah, Star Trek used to be something completely different. What it is now, it's fucked. There's something else that's fucked. There are so many things that are just gone now.
All our RPs are fucking gone now, and it does look like we're starting to get some good stuff again. I mean, I'm hearing good stuff about the bike riders at the moment. I'm even hearing
Tom Hardy.
Yes, Tom Hardy for a minute. Tom Hardy and Austin Butler.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and Jodie Comer as well. I think she's a very good actress as well. And
she's all right. Yeah. I'm looking forward to, hopefully to see what they do with this 28 years later. But they were thinking,
I'm worried about that.
Yeah. Said it's going to be a trilogy of films, and Nia DaCosta's doing the second in the. I don't know if she's doing the second and the third. She's doing the second film in the trilogy, so
she's going to walk on halfway through that as well.
Probably. Hopefully. She can fuck right off halfway through if she wants.
It may well be that she does have some talent, and if she's not surrounded by yes men and committees and all this kind of shit, maybe she can churn out good stuff. But the Marvel sure as fuck wasn't.
No. We're getting there.
I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, but
we're getting enough for that film as well.
I recommended Star Trek Continues, or if I didn't, I do. It's fucking amazing. It's the true continuation of Star Trek. Did you guys know about Star Trek Continues?
Yes.
No. I've not really been bothered about new Star Trek. I prefer the old stuff.
This isn't new Star Trek. So what happened was Vic Mignogna, I think his name is or something. He's a voice actor. He made a 4th season of Star Trek, the original series.
Yeah. I was on Outcast Creative. We were talking about that. It was like these, and they actually recreated the look and everything, the aesthetic of it.
Absolutely.
And they even had one of the old actors pop up as well. The guy who played Apollo as another character.
Yep, he's had quite a few people in it. A few other Star Trek actors showed up. John Delancey's in one episode, and James Doohan's son plays Scotty.
That's right.
Yeah. We mentioned
Mahara, rest in peace. It was really, really good. But what was really good about it was a love letter to Star Trek. pure and simple.
Yeah, because I mean, from what I'm hearing, from what Lance told me, it was they really did their fucking homework as well, character-wise, everything, and how everything operated, the cliches, all sorts. And
It's really good. I think he made like 12 episodes, but because you had the whole CBS problem with fan-made projects, he had to cut it down to 8. But there's really good. There's one episode where, and this is how Star Trek should handle racism by allegory rather than what it does do. And there's this episode, it's got John Delancey in it who plays Q, and they find this planet, and there's these two planets warring with each other, and one of the planets, everything's black and white, and there's like this racist angle, but then so they're like, oh, these other people are lesser than us and we're going to have this war. But then you find out that when the black and white goes and the color changes, they're all different colors. And it's fucking brilliant. I'm not explaining it the best, but it just, Star Trek used to do that. And now Star Trek would just turn around and just, I don't know, they'd be crying and hugging and fucking
yeah, they show way too many fucking emotions, and you're not supposed to when you're in that kind of job. You got to keep yourself in control of your emotions because you're working in a very high pressured kind of job where shit can go wrong and people can fucking die because of your mistakes.
It's meant to be demi
military environment,
military, isn't it? It's supposed to be. Yeah. The thing is, what Star Trek always had, and I thought of the perfect word the other day. Star Trek always had dignity.
Yeah.
And now Star Trek has no dignity whatsoever.
Yeah, if they remade the Wrath of Khan, Kirk would be crying at the funeral, but you're not.
Well, I watched Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock, the other day in the cinema. And even when Kirk's son is stabbed and killed, there's a dignity and a reservation. Obviously, he's upset. You can tell he's upset. You Klingon bastards, you killed my son. He repeats it, and you can see the pain, but he's not breaking down. He's not, like in Star Trek Next Generation, Kirk cries Picard cries once, maybe twice. He breaks down fighting with his brother in the episode Home after the Borg, after he gets assimilated. But it's more powerful because he's such a reserved character. He's so dignified. So that when he breaks down, it means something.
Yeah, because he's been holding it in as well around his crew, but But now that he's found an. But now that he's out of it, though, is his chance to sort of break down. It's been building up for so long, and
exactly, yeah. Now everybody's all friends and hugging and crying, and it's absolute bollocks. Star Trek Continues is all available on YouTube. The whole damn thing.
I need to watch it, Adele. I really do.
Season 4. So it goes from the end of season 3, and it goes right up until the first movie, the 1979 motion picture. It's very good. Like, don't get me wrong, like some of the actors, and Vic doesn't do the greatest Kirk impression or anything like that, but the integrity, the passion, the love for Star Trek just shines all the way through it. It is so good, and it is so authentic. They actually built a copy of the Enterprise bridge, and I don't know if they're still doing it because Star Trek Continues is over a decade old now. Once a year they do tours of it. Because it is literally recreated from scratch, and it is the Enterprise bridge. So check it out. It's really, really good. It's about 8 episodes, I think. So it's not massive. Okay. Yeah. It's way better than anything they're making these days. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, because they don't conduct themselves like actual fucking officers. They behave
more
like
millennials.
Yeah,
that's the problem I have with it. It's a bunch of millennials or school kids.
I know. This is the difference between Star Trek then and Star Trek now, because there was one episode where it had the guy who played Archer in Discovery, and he was like this total idiot and mocking them, and he was being totally mocked by everyone. No one was encouraging him to try and do better or trying to give him advice on how he can get better at his job. Where in the old one, you had the character Barclay, who was really awkward. He was he came across incompetent, but people were still trying to sort of build him up a little bit despite his flaws. And in the end, he does sort of prevail in a way, in his own kind of way. And it just shows just how well written the old Star Trek was compared to new, where no, they're just fucking take the piss out of this guy, and he ends up dying, and his death is a total fucking joke. And I hated that. I really did.
Yeah, it's bullshit. They'll they'll try and do that as much as they. Oh, I don't know. It's so tiresome. It really does piss me off. I loved Star Trek. I genuinely love Star Trek. I used to watch it with my dad growing up, and it was so good at teaching morality, messages, and stuff like that. And
Yeah,
I
there was
hate
an
to see
optimism
what's
to it as well, right? That Star Trek episode of Discovery I mentioned, there was no optimism there. It was just pure fucking mean-spiritedness and pettiness and just downright cruelty. And that was not what the original Star Trek seems to be all about. I mean, yeah, there were some very dark moments where characters would go through some very horrific shit and suffer, but there was still an optimism. Like there was always a way that you'd know that these people would be okay.
Yeah, exactly. The problem is, without wanting to go too much off a tangent, Star Trek was always meant to be that mankind had evolved, that we had reached our best possible form, and that we were then going to, further that message and spread it outwards, and be an advanced form of life that was contributing on a wider galactic scale. And some might say that the bits of it was a little bit hippie-like and stuff like that, and that there's a certain amount of truth in that you've got to have some conflict to have characters. You can't have everything being hippie all the time; it just wouldn't work. But the nuance is just gone now. And there's this brilliant line in the Savage Curtain episode where a copy or Abraham Lincoln comes onto the Enterprise.
Yeah, that was a good one.
And he speaks to Uhura, and he says, "What a charming negress." And then he says, "Oh,
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
She doesn't get pissed off
An offensive term." And she turns around and she says, "Why would I be offended? We've moved
They've learned
beyond
not to hate words. Yeah,
being
they've learned
offended
not to
by
fear words.
And that was such a brilliant concept, such a brilliant, not the fact of it, just we've moved beyond it. And what do we get now in Star Trek Discovery? We get fucking pronoun lectures in the 29th century. And it's just gone. It's just Gene's, Gene had some crazy ideas that were a bit weird as he got older and stuff, but it's just, there was something pure about Star Trek. There was something dignified about Star Trek, and it's all gone.
Yeah, because I think
the
Gene
morality
was a World War II hero as well, wasn't he?
But the morality in it was it was subtly tackled, wasn't it?
Yes.
I mean, it was subtly tackled. It wasn't a kind of a an in your face, finger wagging exercise. This is how we are now going to show you exactly how to be a moral person, or what we consider to be a moral person, and we're going to show you a moral tale, or what we consider to be a moral tale. It was it was morality, not individual morality plays, but they were genuine stories that had genuine conflict, with I wouldn't say a sprinkle of morality, but they were morality tales. But it was the subtlety about it, and there's no subtlety in anything now. Everything's overt.
Yeah, about subtle as a brick wrapped up with the patriarchy is bad, smashed over your face.
Yeah.
I think one of the problems is they just can't do that anymore because of self-inserting and things like that. But you can be subtle about these things if you're a talented enough writer. They're just not talented enough.
And that's exactly the nub of it, isn't it? They don't know how to write properly. Nope. The only way they know how to write is how they're told to write, and secondly, I think it's how they've been conditioned to write.
Well, it's part of. I mean, I imagine part of it's notes. I mean, even if you was to put something forward that had no message in it, it would come back with notes saying you need to put some message in it. Star Trek is one of the biggest symptoms of that change, in my opinion. You used to have science fiction writers who just happened to write for TV as well, writing decent, as you say, morality plays, but subtle ones. And now you just get TV writers who can't write sci-fi to save their lives, so they're just writing millennial drama with some dodgy sci-fi thrown in.
Dramas either. Like every episode used to be just like 28 minutes long, keep a pace and do not exceed it. But now they're doing that all the time. They're adding stuff in that doesn't need to. And now every episode is very inconsistent to what fucking length they are. And they become a fucking show to watch as well because...
Yeah, no, I never thought there'd be Star Trek I couldn't watch.
Yeah.
But there is. There is now. There's certain Star Trek I just can't... I can't watch because it's not Star Trek.
But I've actually got some I've got some personal writing stories of, let's just say, of my own, stories of screenwriting, precisely what you're talking about, the lists of notes and everything attached to something that's been submitted, but obviously I can't quite say everything whilst we're streaming, so if you want to know, I'll let you know afterwards.
Yeah,
sure, that'd be interesting.
Yeah. Well, we're coming on to the end, so yeah, maybe sooner than you think anyway. So back to Get Shorty. I will go through everyone to offer their final thoughts, and then after that, let them promote what they need to promote. So, Inside Man, final thoughts on Get Shorty.
An absolute gem. It's really one of those do not miss movies from the 90s. You know, if you haven't seen it, why? But yeah, it's a great film. It's a great film. It's the most Tarantino non-Tarantino film that there is.
Yeah, and if my channel gets any bigger, hopefully more people might want to see this. So yeah, get sharing and liking and commenting. Get that algorithm and do the same to these guys as well. And what? So what are you next promoting? Inside Man. What have you got?
Well, we got the Band of Brothers episode 7 stream on the Outcast Creative on Sunday. That's starting at 8 p.m. I believe. So we're actually going into one of my favorite episodes and probably one of the favorite episodes that I worked on actually. I mean, I enjoyed working on all of them, but this one in particular was pretty special for me.
Yeah, because it's part 2 of the last one in a way, and it is one of my favorites as well. That and the last one.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's a terrific episode. And I think because I did actually watch the stream last week, because obviously I was a little bit under the weather. Thank you for standing in for me, by the way. I really appreciate you doing that. Yeah, and I thought you were very good at pretending to be me actually. But yeah, so yeah, you were both talking. You and History Bro were talking about it being a kind of the first part of a two-parter, if you like, or the first half of, you know, it felt like it was the first half of one episode. And I'd say you're absolutely spot on with that. It really is. It's that, you know, it's like a 2-hour Snow episode that's been split into 2. But yeah, very, very good episode coming up on Sunday. So looking forward to doing that with Lance from the Outcast Creatives, Blue Collar Loser. I'm not sure whether you're coming on. Are you?
I will.
On Sunday?
I will ask Lance anyway, but I think he might have a full house anyway with because he'll obviously have History Bro and
History Bro's on, yeah.
And occasionally, Critical Drinker pops on there, but he might be busy, so we don't know about that. But we'll see what Lance has to say, and if we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it'd be good to see you on there. But if not, then I will definitely see you on Tuesday for the Nielsen ratings. And yeah, I might have to send something over to you for you to have a little bit of a look at. I've got a couple of little curiosities for you to glance at. So I'll send something over to you and see what you think. Maybe we can chat about that on there. So basically that's that for the moment.
Okay, so I'll move on to Fandad Menace. Have you got anything you want to promote or at the moment?
I'm going to answer Inside Man's question as to why haven't you seen this movie? And I honestly don't know. I only watched it for the first time this week. I think it's because I thought it was something entirely different. I think that I thought it was like a gangster movie, and I don't really do gangster movies because I believe that gangsters are just glorified bullies, and I hate bullies because I've been bullied, and I don't really do well with that kind of movie. But I thought it was absolutely fabulous. Like you say, it's very Tarantino-esque. So yeah, I thought it was great. I'll have to watch it again because there's so much that you miss, even if you've watched it 2 or 3 times.
I'm so pleased that you got so much out of watching this for the first
I know,
time.
it's good to- yeah.
It's
I
really
love hearing people's reactions when they see something
Yeah.
I like for the first time. And
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to promote as well that you've got upcoming?
I'm hoping to get back into making videos. I've been actually asked on my channel. Somebody asked me if I could update them on Lethal Weapon 5, and I noticed the other day that Danny Glover posted something about he's read a script for Lethal Weapon 5, so I'm gonna probably have to get into that, and probably do something with 28 Years Later, because I'm kind of looking forward to it, but I am a bit skeptical.
Yeah, I'm hoping near the cost to sort of reels back a little bit the fucking woke crap and actually decides to focus on
I don't
a good
know.
story.
I think is Danny Boyle is back in the chair though, isn't he, for this first outing?
I hope so. Anyway, we'll have to see what happens. We'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, definitely.
Hopefully, John Murphy does the score for it as well, because I love the score for 28 Weeks Later.
Yeah.
Was it
so
Alex Garland, wasn't it, that wrote the first one? I think he's written on this one as well.
Yeah, he did Civil War.
Oh, good.
He did Civil War as well, which
I was just about to say he did Civil War, and that was just a pile of dog shit. I thought it was just a load of nothing. I don't know what your thoughts were on it.
I ain't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it, and I've got to be honest with you, it didn't appeal to me.
Civil War was it was more like a film on the life, the effects of photojournalism than it was the actual Civil War itself.
Yeah.
The war was such a tenuous backdrop. I couldn't work out what the fuck was going on.
I was exactly the same. I didn't know what was happening, who was fighting who we were supposed to root for.
Not a clue. For that reason, I was not very invested in it. There was genuinely shocking scenes in the film.
Yeah. But even the characters that were supposed to be focused on, they were just very shallow 2D characters.
Yeah, it was, as I say, it was a film that had things happen in it, I guess, but there was no structure, there was no framework to it. So aside from a couple of scenes that will stick in the memory, the whole film was just like meh, I guess.
I think it cost the studio was it $150 million to make? It was A24 that made it.
It was, yes. Their biggest
They've been producing loads of low budget horror movies and doing really well, and then suddenly decided to spend $150 million. And
it was okay. It was very well. I will say it was very well directed. There was some very good visual work that was done.
Well shot as well. The cinematography was
really, exactly, on that basis. But the overall structure of the film just didn't seem to be there.
Things happening
different about it, but I couldn't get anything out of it really.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, but so critical. What have you got upcoming, and anything you want to promote at the moment?
Hello. I've just re-recorded my Death of Cinema film because the first time around, my delivery was so boring. I think even I was falling asleep. So I re-recorded that, and that'll be going up tomorrow. Other than that, I will, of course, if I see anything good or bad enough to either promote or warn people of, I'll do a review for that. My last video, The Highwayman, actually done really good, over 1,000 views. So that is in part due to the last stream I did, Luke. So that was fantastic. Up to 25 subs now. So, that's better than what it was. And honestly, I think that my main aim is just going to be to highlight the bad writing and stuff we get these days, because this film has got such good writing in it. It really does. Both character writing and event writing, narrative. I don't think you could make this film these days. And not because there's anything particularly problematic in it, in my opinion. I just don't think that the talent exists to make these films these days.
It's very rare now. We're seeing some really good directors. It's very sad. But
and I think a lot of people are being pushed aside as well, because of saying their heydays over. Like sort of Catherine Bigelow hasn't made a film in so long now.
Mm.
You know, she's a genuinely talented woman. I think she's 70 now.
Mm.
Oh, she's 70. Fucking hell.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah,
I think
she's about
he's
70.
70.
I mean, but then Clint Eastwood's still making fucking films, and he's 97.
I know he's still going.
Yeah.
He's still going. I think he's
John
doing it.
Travolta.
This is film is a caper. It's funny. It's smart. It's witty. It's actors. It's a great cast doing great jobs. It's well directed. It's well written. It's a hallmark of what we used to get back in the day, and I think take for granted.
Yeah.
And I think that's the main thing. And I think that's
Yeah.
one of the reasons why this film got passed by, is we took it for granted at the time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but you're right.
there's
It's a caper film, isn't it? It's a caper movie, much like a lot of Elmore Leonard's books. They are capers.
There's nothing particularly sort of groundbreaking or amazing. There's no massive gunfights or anything like that, but there doesn't need to be, because the film is sold on the basis of the characters, the actors, and the narrative. And yeah, it's brilliant. It really is. It does remind me of something like The Big Lebowski, although not quite as severely and on the nose funny.
So tonally, I think
It seems a bit dry at the time, in a way, doesn't it? While this has a little bit more style to it, you know.
Yes,
To the offbeat,
there's an elan to this, but
Yeah.
the moving parts that all get introduced very organically. It's just brilliant. It really is good. And yeah, I mean, anybody who hasn't watched it, check it out. I don't think you're going to be disappointed. I think it's a film that'd be hard to not like.
Yeah, Nix is asking about Spaceballs.
Yeah, it's someone, if anything,
leave
it's
it
a
alone.
great
Leave
piece
it
of
alone.
entertainment, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Spaceballs 2.
Just leave it
Absolute
alone.
balls.
I think the main thing I have to say there is why.
Yeah. But we'll leave it there right now. And final thoughts on Get Shorty before I end the stream. Critical.
It's great. It's a film of yesteryear. You just don't get anything like it now.
Yeah, it's
just
a good
won't-
little
you
love
wouldn't
letter
let a studio
as well
take
as
a chance on a
independent
film like this
Hollywood. Yeah, and I love it for it.
Really good.
And yeah, it's once again, it's very sharp, it's very funny, it's very witty, and it's every actor just looks like they're having fun in the roles and they play them to perfection. And this is about all the time I have right now. It's getting late, and please thank you, everyone in the chat. Thank you for my guests for popping on and giving their thoughts onto this. And
thank you.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure having you, beautiful bastards. It really is.
Nice to hear you.
Yeah,
it's nice to speak to inside, man. It's good to hang out with you, man.
Yeah, definitely.
And
I've got to skip the next one. I'll definitely be around again after that for whatever Northern English Bastards got lined up for us.
Yeah, Perfect Blue next week with Stupenzo. That's going to be a really fucking trippy film. It confused the fuck out of me, but be very interesting to break down though. But that is all the time we have right now. So please share, like, comment, and hit that bell to get more notifications on any upcoming videos I have. And please do the same for my guests here as well. I've not got Inside Man's YouTube handle on my description yet because I can't find it. So if you can, Inside Man, could you please send it to me on Twitter and I can put it up later, please? Hello?
Hello.
I think he's buggered off.
Has he gone to sleep?
Of course.
I'll message him later.
No, he's there. He's there.
Oh, is there? Is this quiet? It's gone.
I've got a terrible delay going on here. I don't
know. Have you?
Yeah, I've got a dread.
Oh,
man.
That's gone a bit funny.
It's got toxic virus. It's spreading.
Get off it right now. I'll message you later, okay? I will message you later. So, because I got to hop off now anyway. So,
okay, mate.
Yeah. So please share, like, comment, hit the bell, do the same for my guests here. And whether you beautiful bastards are Northern English or not, thanks for joining me. But right now, we're done and we are off to the pub. So long.
Bye-bye.
Cheers, all.